we're going to go meet at this restaurant. I'm like messaging Chris. I'm like, what's the reservation name? He replies to me with the name Barry Chopsticks. What? So I'm going in there and I'm like, yeah, I have a restaurant reservation for Barry Chopsticks. Swallow. He looks at me like...
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I am here with the boys and we have a special guest, as you can see. Are you a special guest anymore, Chris? I'm just here with the boys as usual. Chris.
About to get affable.
Oh my God.
Welcome. I haven't seen you guys in a while. This is my fifth time on the show.
I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, fourth?
I used to walk into the studio to a hero's welcome, right? I'd kick down the door and I'm like, Chris, welcome, let's go have so much fun.
Happened.
Today I walked in, like nobody looked up from their phone. There's Garnt like munching on a salad. He's like, run. Joe was like looking into the distance. Connor was on his phone. He was like, run. I was like, oh. Is this the way it is now? Yeah. It looked like a scene out of Scarface. Yeah. Instead of cocaine, there was salad. He was like, wrong. Yes.
I am the Tony Montana of salad.
You anymore.
Yes, I have just spent 10 days with you, so yes. I don't need to see you ever again.
I think you've come to this studio more than some staff members have.
Yeah, it's good to be back there. It's felt like a while. It's been
the last time you were on was
Trash Taste
February
After Dark
episode, I think.
Yeah.
Dark.
It was the charity stream.
Yeah, where you yeeted out as we were all dying and you were like, all right, guys, see ya, I'm going to go bed.
I remember going to bed that night at like 1 a.m. and I was rolling to bed like half dead, like, oh, and I pulled out my phone and watched you all streaming in pain. I was like, and then I hit the off button, woke up like 8 hours later and you were still streaming. Yeah. Like the regenerated corpse of Joey, like, oh, I'm just like a ghost pepper. Like everyone looked so dead. And I just felt so happy that I wasn't part of it.
Yeah. I mean, that was the big mistake of that stream, was just drinking, because, you know, we were in high spirits.
It was your fault. It was your fault.
No. That was good fun though, the Laugh You Lose segment. That was really good. Yeah. And raised a lot of money for charity.
Yeah, like you guys just did as well. I mean, you guys...
Yeah.
What an amazing segue.
Yeah, what an amazing
Speaking of charity fundraising.
Speaking of charities.
We did. So we did the cycle across Hokkaido, 700 and... I'm going to say 750 kilometers.
It was 750 something.
Because if you keeps going up every time I say it.
The reason
800 now.
What happened was that the way we calculated the overall distance, we just put Hokkaido, Hakodate, Wakanai, cycle, and it said this many kilometers. Right. Obviously, we didn't take the perfect route.
You didn't do it as the crow flies.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
Because you would want to stop and stay at hotels. It's like, there wasn't any.
It was cool though. We raised $300,000.
$316,000.
The IDF, Israeli Defense Force.
Oh my God. It's so unfortunate. Whenever you type in the IDF into Google, the Israeli Defense Force.
It got really awkward the entire stream. People were like, guys, I'm all for charity fundraising, but why is it the Israeli Defense Force? And we're like, it's the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
It's there on the stream. It says Immune Deficiency Foundation.
It got very heated, very political. But we did do it.
I can't believe they're supporting this.
No, it was good. What I didn't like was being referred to as Jeffrey Broadstein.
No, Chris Broadstein.
Chris Broadstein.
They call me Chris Broadstein the whole time.
Asking for massages and being bossy. And
we had our friend American Pete Premier 2 come along for the second half, which we needed because we were dead by the second half. And he like pepped it up, and I was like, if you want to come on the cycle, Pete, you got to pay the price. Back rub time. And people were like, you're just Jeffrey Epstein. And like,
Harvey Weinstein. It was Chris Broadstein.
Chris Broadstein. Yeah, but you know, to be fair, you want to come on the trip, you got to pay the price.
Massages.
Those massages got me through the second half of the fucking cycle. Like, without them, I would have been
screwed.
had
a personal massage. That was...
So I spoke about it a bit in one of the other episodes, but I only spoke about kind of like the technical aspect and the stream aspect.
Yeah.
So I didn't really tell any of the stories or any of the...
There was a story?
Stories.
The racist.
I did mention
heard you guys went to a racist hotel or something like that. I
said I'd let Chris tell that story.
Yeah.
There's not much to it. We went in a hotel and they were just incredibly not overly welcoming.
Yeah.
Well, like how so? Like was it like in a? It was like an aggressive manner or like a kind of
very cold manner.
Right. And then aggressive.
And then aggressive.
Or because you know, like Japan is very good at being doing the passive aggressive stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we there was a hotel in the middle of nowhere on the second day. Literally nothing, nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
We stopped in this town called Nakagawa by the riverside or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's one place that was open for the 50-kilometer radius of that area. And we tried to book it, and they were like, well, no room at the inn, we're full. I'm like, oh, shit.
We also tried to book like a month in advance.
We did.
Right. There's no rooms.
And then we rang them up, and we rang them up in English first, and that didn't go down well. So we got one of our friends to ring them up in like perfect Japanese. We only booked one room, but we needed 2 rooms, one for me and Connor, one for our driver and cameraman Paul and Ian.
Yeah.
And but there wasn't, so they had to drive all the way back 100 kilometers to Wakanai to stay the night.
So they stayed in Wakanai again?
Yeah, the 4 guys back to Wakanai. And but we sort of went to check in, and the woman was just really like, wouldn't like look at me in the face.
All the staff just went like completely silent when we walked
The air
in.
left the room. It was like, oh shit, this is awkward. And I was like, oh, I don't suppose you've got one more room available. Our friends are in the car park. And they were like, no. I was like, well, they're going to have to drive all back to Wakanai. Oh, it's all right, Palava. And they're like, it was just like, oh, this is so awkward. And like, so we got our room keys. We were like, oh, no, arigatou gozaimasu. And they sort of like walked off and looked like they weren't doing anything. So we're like, okay, let's go to our room.
So it was just like 10, 15 seconds of them just like not saying anything.
Yeah.
And they gave us the key.
So we started walking off to our room, and then the door opened, and the woman came running out. She was like, rah, rah, you've got to pay for your room now, rah. And we were like, what? Oh my God, Jesus. Like, you look like you didn't.
Full on shouting.
It was really awkward.
Really?
Yeah. You know, just because it was just a bit awkward and uncomfortable.
We were just like, oh, all right, fine.
You could have just said so.
Yeah. And
weird.
Yeah, but that was the only real bad bit. And then we did try and get into a restaurant in Wakanai, which you guys have been to, right?
We've
Very
been to Wakanai.
destitute, remote city.
Was it McDonald's?
City is
McDonald's
a
was
strong word.
good, yeah.
McDonald's always the G, man. Never let you in.
Ronald's like, I got you, man.
Honestly, I remember when we went to McDonald's in Wakanai, that place was banging. Out of like, it was like kicking off. Like half the town was there. I swear to God.
McDonald's is always full. I swear, twice I've been there now, and it's been always full.
And there's like always people taking photos of the Ronald McDonald out the front on the bench.
Yeah.
He's the most northern Ronald McDonald in Japan. Donald McDonald.
Donald McDonald, yeah.
He's called Donald McDonald in Japan because they realised Ronaldo McDonaldo is too difficult for tongue twister in Japanese. So I love those. Like, oh, just call it Donald McDonald then. Yeah, all right, I'll do. Fuck it, Donaldo McDonaldo.
It's hard to tell with hotel staff or any staff in Japan. It's like, are they always this rude to everyone, or is it just because we're here?
Well, I don't think they'd ever seen a foreign person there before.
Oh, it's so remote.
Because you had to book it in Japanese through this website. But we also went to a restaurant in Wakanai, and it was a yakitori chicken skewered restaurant. I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to eat the whole restaurant dry. Walked in, and the guy was like, no, get out. And we're like, oh.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, hi, Tikonai there. Like, don't fucking come in.
It didn't even ask us,
there was like
how
empty
many
tables,
teams,
and it looked like, I was like, is it open? Yeah, it's open for another 5 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Holy shit.
Just say, don't fucking come in. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So those first 2 days, it was just like, oh, let's enjoy racism. But then after that, it got better.
Tomokomai, everyone was so nice. That was really weird.
Yeah, there was a lot of, everyone was kind after that. It was just that part of Japan. And maybe they're not racist, they're just very shy and uncomfortable.
Well, I think it's also because, like, for one, obviously, not a lot of foreigners go up there. Like, I feel there's like a hard line in Hokkaido where you go anywhere north of there, and it's just immediately like foreigners don't come here.
Asahikawa.
But as we got to Asahikawa and south, everyone was very nice.
Because they're probably more used to foreigners.
We had lots of stream snipers, like 3 or 4.
Yeah, we had three stream snipers total.
In Asahikawa?
No, across the whole journey.
Oh,
okay.
One we missed.
Yes.
Yeah,
we cycled off just as this girl arrived, and she had to deal with our team in the car who were there. And they
not really bad. So she was like, oh, I just missed them. I can't go to the next stop either. Oh.
We ran into a guy, I think he was from the Czech Republic there, and he was walking from Wakanai to Kagoshima, doing your road trip in reverse, and walking it over a 4-month period.
Yeah.
And he was
in Hakodate.
We were just cycling to Hakodate, and I saw what I thought was our cameraman Paul up ahead, and I was like, and he sort of waved me over, and I was like, that's not Paul at all. And he's just a really nice guy, and he's like, I've got plums for you.
Yeah, we just ate plums.
Excellent. And he just whipped out some plums, ate the plums, but he's walking for 4 months.
Jesus.
Holy fuck.
And he just started his journey?
Yeah, he was 2 weeks in, I think.
Yeah, he started in the very, very top of Wakanai.
Wakanai?
I don't know.
Going all the way to Kagoshima. Jesus.
Far out.
Yeah, it's like Homer's Odyssey. It's like
weird.
insane.
The guy tweeted at me on Twitter a few days before saying, oh, I might bump into you in Hakodate. I'm walking from the top to bottom. I'm like, this guy's lying.
No one does that.
I'm like, that's absurd. No one is doing
That's
that.
literally like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
I think that's what Forrest Gump did.
I don't know. It just seemed weird, and it didn't make sense to me. So I was like, oh, whatever. But then, yeah,
and it's like you're not even doing it for content. What's wrong with you? You're just doing it for fun.
When I saw that a guy had stopped him, like ahead of me, I was like, oh, it must be that dude, because like we're in Hakodate, where he said, and it didn't look like any of our cameramen or staff. So I was like, that's weird. And so slowly as it gets closer, I see the giant backpack. I'm like, oh my god, it's him. It's real.
Jesus Christ.
What a legend, though.
Some of those roads I would not want to walk on.
Yeah.
They're just trucks. It's just all trucks.
I mean, another girl called Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa.
I came out of like a Bickery Donkey restaurant, and everyone was like talking to her and getting free crisps and stuff.
Yeah, she brought us like a bunch of drinks and crisps and a really heartfelt note. It was really, really great, really nice. We had really positive people.
Yeah.
That's good.
Aside from just the few people at the beginning of the journey.
Pretty much. But it was tough though, and like I only nearly killed Connor once.
Yeah, we
only had one major argument one time.
I heard you guys had a full-on domestic about when to wake up, right?
It was a shame the cameras weren't rolling, because that would have been a great like coming up section. Although we'd have to
World Star
have to bleep the C word like 4 times. But in our defence, like, so this was the middle of the trip in Sapporo, like just past the halfway point.
Yeah,
and we'd done what was optimistically billed as the easy day, but it was like the most difficult day. It was only like 60 kilometers to Sapporo. It was like, we'll get there before lunchtime, it'll be brilliant. But then we hit 30 kilometer headwinds, and Google was like, take a detour with extra 20 kilometers. And we didn't really look where we were going. It all went to shit.
It was the day where Google fucked us up the most.
Google fucked us. And we got to Sapporo, and I was just wrecked. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to carry on this.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, we've got 3 more days, and they're the hard days. And I was like, fuck's sake. It was like 100 kilometers, 164 kilometers. Oh my
it was a lot. And then I think we had an argument about when to wake up. And it got heated. But then we were like, very quickly, we were like, all right, cool.
Connor was like, we worked out that at the current rate, we'd have to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Last day we'd have to wake up
I wouldn't get up at 4 a.m. for my own funeral. I wouldn't get up at 4 a.m. for anything. Especially on like 4 hours sleep, then cycling 150 kilometers.
Yeah.
I just went mental.
Some days we were really slow.
Yeah.
And some days we were really fast. It just depended on the wind.
The mood, the winds.
And how much good road we were on.
Yeah.
The road made even if it just had was a little bumpy, it would just slow you down so much. When you had like a good paved road, you could just get so much more distance done so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. But I noticed that I started off really strong, started getting worse and worse, and Chris definitely got better, I think.
It turned out my seat was too low the first 4 days. I could barely stand up. I was like the fucking Hobbit that the first few days I was like hobbling along, like I'm never walking again. But then after I raised my seat, I was like, oh, this is really easy.
This is how it's meant to be done.
Normally when you pedal, right, your feet go like this, right? But Chris's were going like this.
Like a wingspan.
Everyone in my chat was wondering what the fuck, and I was wondering like, what are you doing? Like, and then,
my legs were fine on the second half, but I got really bad back pain from like leaning forward. And that got really bad. I had to take some painkillers to get through, but. Yeah. The sad thing is though,
not even the massages could cover for that.
Not even the Jeffrey Broadstein massages could see me through. But here's the interesting thing. I thought, I'm on this journey to get the most fittest I've ever been by the end of the year. That's my target, right? This is phase 1 basically of the Marvel weight loss.
The Abroad in Japan cinematic universe.
And
could be Thanos by phase 3, man.
Fucking there. By December, just click my fingers. Half my subscribers are gone. So I started the cycle 84.5 kilograms.
Right.
What do you think I was after 8 days, 750 kilometers, 46,000 calories burnt? Use your maths, and you already know the answer, but what do you think I would have?
See, because Connor told us that, weirdly enough, he didn't actually lose as much weight.
Yeah, depends on how much beer you drank.
Because you guys drank a shitload.
I don't drink beer, he does.
Okay.
Fucking Dyson when there's a beer in front of him.
Just mouth over the whole bottle.
It's like that Nunu thing out of Teletubbies. It's awful. So no, I'm not that bad.
I want to say
you still drank every day.
Yeah, but
don't like you were like a saint with your water.
I want to say you got to like maybe like close to 80, maybe a little bit under
So
80.
84.5 to 80.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, 7 days. I'd say around 80. I'd say that's. I'd say that's
86.5. Fucking 2 kilograms on.
How did that happen?
I don't know. So I got on the scale, so I got back to send it. I was like, here we fucking go. I got the camera ready, stood on it, and the scale's like, oh. And I was like, no. If not this, then nothing.
Is it probably muscle?
Yeah, is it muscle
So
weight?
at first I thought, it's because I was eating a lot every day. I did eat a lot, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I mean a lot because you have to stay ahead of the sort of calorie deficit when you're cycling because your fucking stomach's like a furnace when you're cycling for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You put food in, you're like hungry minutes later.
Yeah.
And so I was eating so much, it's like a preemptive strike on hunger. I was like, I'll fucking take you on hunger. And you have to do this thing called carb loading the night before, where you eat like a mountain of carbs.
I think it's like 2 days before, right? I think it's 2 days.
Yeah, well, we did it every day, so it's sort of.
Okay.
So I carb loaded.
We'll call it carb loading. Right?
That's what I call every meal as well.
Order a fat domino. I'm just carb loading.
It's not a bad diet. I'm carb loading.
I've been
He was not carb loading. He was just eating.
You weren't carb loading. You were just loading on carbs.
I've been prepping for this cycle my whole life. Carb loading. So, you have to eat a lot. So I thought maybe that's why I'm 2 kilograms heavier after 8 days. What it turns out was my muscles were destroyed after this cycle. Even now, I've got a bit of a hobble when I walk. I look like someone's taken a hammer to my kneecap as I'm walking. And I'm in a lot of pain, even now. And basically, like, because I've destroyed my muscles, they get swollen.
Yeah.
Right? You get actual swole.
Yeah.
Right? Swole in Japan, right? So my muscles are like really big and ridiculous and filled with water. And I think that is why
So it's water weight.
You can't have a car.
I think all the muscles are really stiff. So I think it's that. And I'm going to weigh myself again in 3 days. And pray to God, I've lost some weight. I'm going to be really fucking depressed.
I think I look a bit thinner. I don't know though. Maybe it's all my head.
You definitely look
definitely
back.
looks thinner.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Because you walked in today, and the first thing I
gained
noticed, like, damn, Chris, you looking good, man.
Looking thinner.
Yeah, looking like 10% more affable, man. Yeah.
People made fun of my big calves. They called me Affable.
Mutant
Yeah,
calf.
pretty fucking massive.
Affable legs. Yeah.
They do look like tumorous.
Cheers, Connor.
They do.
Some call it muscle. Connor calls it cheese.
I've never seen calves that look like that.
It just looks like someone took a baseball bat to the back of your knees.
No, it looks like a baseball is just there.
I feel fit. I do feel fit.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what's important. What's the next? What's after
what's
this?
phase
then?
two?
What's phase 2?
Phase 2.
Yeah.
It's called a Spartan race, and I've got to run 5 kilometers up a mountain in Niigata, and then do 20 obstacles like monkey bars and under the barbed wire and all this shit.
Oh, cool.
Fucking hell.
And I think that'll be harder than the cycle. Obviously, it's not a long endurance thing like the cycle was.
Yeah,
but it's really, really intense.
Intense.
So
Yeah.
It's some pretty
Sounds like a Navy SEAL training regimen.
Well,
you got there.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
And the sort of guys that I've seen training for it, they're
Yeah.
like next level fitness.
So I also feel like that's going to be harder than the cycle because, like, the cycle you're predominantly only using, certain muscles. But with that one, it's like your whole body.
And I've got 10 days.
I'd rather do the race than the cycle.
You doing some training?
I have been running and doing various other things.
Better start loading on those carbs. And best start carb loading.
I need all the Dominoes. Bring me a Domino's pizza.
Like, how do you eat like 8,000 calories a day? You just can't, like, a reasonable person just can't eat that many calories a day.
Yeah.
Like, because some days we were burning like that much.
I can do it.
Yeah, you
Oh my
could
God.
actually. Well, to be fair,
Don't tempt me.
I'm convinced those energy jellies are just garbage. I think.
Whoa.
I think that, and you swear
think
by
so?
them. I think they're just garbage.
They're really
Why
good.
are they garbage? You just hate jelly.
I just think they're just. It's just like, let's call it.
As the representative character
yeah.
of Dr. Jelly.
I'm gonna get ganged up on. I just think they just fucking jelly and they're like, just pour like a mountain of sugar in it and call it a day.
I mean, it gives you like the energy
there we
that you need.
You were saying, yeah, let's go.
That's why I've got the jump.
That's horrific. Why is Joe's face like that now? What is that?
I love it.
Oh my god.
There you go. Dr. Jelly.
I'm still waiting for my shirt and pants.
You've nothing.
What the fuck?
No, the Dr. Jelly. The jelly is good. It's
think
good.
so?
Yeah.
It's the calories of a rice ball in jelly form factor.
Yeah.
So you can just squeeze it. in 10 seconds.
It's just much easier to intake. Because when I'm on like a shoot, for example, and I just need like a quick intake because I missed lunch or something, jelly's perfect.
That's the main thing. They market it as energy jelly, but it's mostly just like get a meal in you quick.
Yeah, you're bought out by big jelly companies.
This message is not sponsored.
You just hate jelly in general, you know?
It's not like
I
jelly.
think jelly's awful. It's a shit.
Of all kinds, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn. Sad.
Yeah, it's just the worst way for Connor to intake anything. It's just like, you bring him jelly, it's like, no, get that away from me.
I mean, what's this nonsense about you not liking
I
oranges?
think oranges are shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're not the same, are you?
Of course
No.
Wait, hold on. Don't try and turn this into a ganging up thing on me and just, they are just
Why not? It's so easy.
What's your least favorite fruit, Chris? Since we all
I think I like all fruits equal.
you like all fruits.
Well, what's your favorite fruit?
Bananas.
Oh, good
Okay,
stuff.
okay,
Good stuff.
good.
Stuff.
Good.
They are. They're the best. They're the best. They're the best portion-sized fruit.
But what have you got
Yeah.
against oranges? I'm convinced you just go through a diction every morning, like, what shall I have a tirade about today? Aardvark, yes. And like, you just fucking can't go and
This is a
work.
one-for-one line that you said in the cycling special, and it was aardvark as well, which you used as the example.
It's the first word in the dictionary, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I just I don't think they taste very good, and their texture's not very good.
But he likes chocolate oranges.
Yeah.
Well, chocolate oranges are good though,
How does that, what?
because the combination of the flavors balances them out.
Lord. Jesus.
Only Terry's chocolate orange.
I mean, they are pretty
Yeah,
good.
they're
pretty good. Yeah.
They're very good.
I gotta say, I can't remember what I named as my least favorite fruit in the fucking fruit argument that we had, but I want to take it back. I think I was thinking about it, and I'm like, pears. Does anyone actually stand by pears?
Yeah, I like
I like pears.
Really?
Yeah, they're good. They're not. They're nobody's favorite, but they're good.
But if I'm given a pear, I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Pears and dishes are great too.
Fuck yeah, that's a pear. That's a good pear.
Pears just.
Well, I mean, because Japanese pears and like the
Couldn't be worse than orange.
those pears are like different, in my opinion. Like the yonashi and the actual like Japanese like round pears, I feel they're different.
What? You just said things I didn't understand.
Wait,
What the fuck?
The Japanese pear?
Yeah, like
Nashi?
Yeah, nashi. Like nashi pears and like standard Western pears, I feel are different.
Well, most. Oh, these ones.
Yeah.
The round
Yeah,
ones.
the rounder ones. Those ones I prefer.
It
Yeah.
looks like an apple, but tastes like a pear.
Asian pear.
Yeah. I prefer those
Oh.
over the pear-shaped pears.
Fruit takes of trash taste.
I don't know what they're called.
Over the pear pears.
Pear
It's
pears.
going to turn into like a fruit ranking episode, isn't it? S tier.
Yeah, fruit tier list.
Fucking apples. S tier. Jesus. Oh my
First
god.
time on Trash Taste, Chris.
But it's cool when you to think that when you come back from the tour, you'll be like, "Where's Chris gone?" He's just so, "Where's it's me, guys? I'm just so handsome and fit now." Because after the Spartan race and all the other things, like you wanted to bet me some money to get a six pack.
So Chris said that by the time I'm back from America, he'll have a six pack. And I was like, let's
I'll
bet.
put some money on
yeah,
the
and
table.
I said $1,000. Let's do it. Let's bet. And he was like, well, you know, and then because he didn't want to do the bet, he started deflecting me like, you couldn't get a six pack in 2 months. And I was like, I didn't bet I could. I never said that.
I'm going to take the bet, but I want to make sure we get this right.
Okay.
The parameters. What?
You cannot be like, if I got a six pack, but my fat's in the way or something like
you
that.
can't be like, you can't see
I've got a
it.
six pack right now.
Oh, fuck.
But all right.
The waterweight. It's the waterweight.
Too swole, isn't it? Too swole for the cycle. What's the date that I have to get the six pack?
Chris,
by?
It's easy to turn
November
around.
1st when I come back.
No. I can't. That is impossible. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
say November 28th or something, then I'll do it.
November
You
20.
reckon you can get a six
We'll do
pack?
500 quid for charity for the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, or if I could do it, you pay $500 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Sure.
If I fail, I'll pay $500 to
Sure.
the Immune Deficiency.
Deal.
$1,000.
Shake on it on camera right now.
What's the date? We're doing
November 28th, you said.
The day right
Yeah,
now.
actually, when's this episode coming out?
Probably around that time.
It's probably around that time.
It's around this episode's coming out.
Right now, as we're recording this, it is the 8th of September.
Yes.
So you have about 2.5 months to get
Yeah, you have 2.5 months. So by the time this
Fair
episode
enough.
comes out, it will be very, very close to
It's
the deadline.
£500, whatever. You'll be fine.
Let's make it.
Come on.
Because I want to do it in the flesh, right? I don't want to be like, send you a photo because I can
Do it in the flesh.
In the flesh.
Well, let's Snapchat bar across it. Load this.
Who this?
What about, I think I'm in Tokyo November 29th, Tuesday 29th.
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, so you have about two
and a half months.
about 3 months.
Basically 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
That's not 3 months.
That's
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
It's 2 months and like 2/3.
Yeah, 2 months and like 3 weeks.
Basically,
Shake
3
on
months.
it.
3 months.
But what does the
Oh
six-pack
my
have to look
God.
like?
Yeah.
Like
a six-pack.
How deep does it need to be?
It has to be.
Deep six-pack.
You have to be able to distinguish the muscles.
Yeah, if we can
Of the
clearly
six-pack.
see 6 things,
Yeah.
then that's a
Yeah.
6-pack.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
All right, there we go. There it is.
There we go.
Win-win.
Either way, it's a win for IDF. So.
Thing
Yeah.
is, though, I have no choice. I have to get a six-pack by
I
the
don't
way.
have to.
Because
don't have to.
Because phase 3 of the fucking silly, ridiculous weight loss challenge is doing chess boxing match for Ludwig in Los Angeles.
Oh
next year.
yeah.
I've got
That's where you are, Thanos, you know?
So I'm doing this chess box match thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. You have a round of chess in the boxing ring.
Yes.
For 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they take
then you-
the chess board away, and you're like, right then, let's fucking go Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
And then 2 fucking minutes beat the shit out of each other. Then
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to chess.
Then back to chess.
And then it's either whoever gets a KO first or whoever
Or
gets
gets
a checkmate.
first. Yeah.
I'm worried I'm going to travel all the way to Los Angeles and get checkmate in like 3 minutes. And I'm going to walk in the ring like really smug, like, let's fucking go.
Not getting knocked out in the first round. You're more afraid.
6-pack, just like swole as shit, and he's like, how does the rook move?
What's a castle?
How do I castle?
So in my defense, I can play chess, probably to an intermediate level. I don't know how I compare to you guys. Who's the best? You're the best, right, Garnt?
I guess, yeah.
in terms of chess
okay.
competition, yeah.
From like public track record, yes.
You're the
I'm
bad
the
boy.
best currently.
Who's the worst?
Probably me.
Probably Joey.
What level are you?
Well, I learned how to play
What's your
chess
rating?
from the chess tour.
Yeah, what's your chess.com
I
rating?
never even touched a chessboard before.
I only started chess.com like a month ago.
What's
so
your
it's
rating?
What's your rating on that?
Brilliant. How do you find out your rating?
Your number.
There's a number next to your username.
You go on your profile picture, and if you've been playing chess, these should have a number next to it.
But if I've only been playing a month, will it still?
That's yeah.
Does it like
Even
immediately?
after like 1 match, it'll tell you the number.
Yeah.
Because you start off with a number.
Check out
Okay.
your stats.
Oh,
Is that good?
Wait, what is he on?
okay.
Why are you laughing so much?
he on?
He's on 400.
Is that good?
That was Joey's rating when he stopped playing.
Yeah, that was my rating when I stopped playing. Yeah. Hey, to be fair, I still came
Hold on,
third.
hold on.
So.
As your opponent, do you know if he's been training a lot for the boxing?
I don't know that. No.
Oh, what if he's been training like a madman?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. But
What if there's just one guy who's just been putting all of his training into like the chess
Well,
and none into like the boxing?
Just run away.
Yeah, just run away, right?
away.
That's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost wish it was just a pure boxing match in some respect because it could just focus on that one thing.
What?
But to
Yeah.
have to focus
Yeah.
on 2, sort of one mentally challenging thing, one physically
Well, I
challenging.
think that's the whole point of what makes chess
I think
Yeah.
that's the
boxing
point of the
interesting.
chess boxing.
I do wonder where the event will lean more. Is it more for the comical aspect of it, or is it more for the serious, like boxing sport?
Ludwig has instructed us to take it very seriously.
Yes.
It's not like a joke. I don't think it's as serious as what's the one?
Crazy Clash.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know if it's as mentally serious as that.
That was sanctioned by the boxing federation or whatever.
Well,
as
this
well.
is sanctioned by the Chess Boxing Federation.
Is there a chess boxing?
There's a
federation?
chess boxing
I think
federation.
it's the boxing
Apparently,
federation.
but it's still very serious and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
taking it deadly seriously, and I have been training a little bit with boxing, but I need to ramp that up soon. The
Yeah.
main thing is before you even start boxing, I need to just get fit because
Yeah.
it just takes it out of you when you're punching and you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did like one boxing class and my body was ruined.
Yeah. And so by doing the cycle and the Spartan race and a few other things, I'm sort of building up to it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, my aim this year, I got a really bad health report in the middle of this year. It was
right.
like, your cholesterol, very bad. And your blood levels, rubbish. And your blood pressure, shit. And it's just like, nothing was good.
Yeah,
The doctor
not
was
even
like,
your kidneys or
my
your liver.
was it my liver was like really bad. And he's like, you must drink a lot. I'm like, not really. I don't drink
Define
that
a lot.
Define a lot. Yeah.
Didn't you bring us alcohol?
It's in the fridge. It's in the fridge. But I don't drink that much, and now someone will probably fucking montage me drinking stuff everywhere. But
I don't drink a lot.
I don't drink that much. And I was like,
I got a perfect
you-
score on my liver.
Oh, fuck a deal, do, Mr.
Actually,
Slurping
we
the
haven't had
beer.
our health examination this
Yeah, I
month
haven't had
yet.
mine this
Yeah, because
year.
we were going on tour and we were just like, let's delay it. Let's see if we can delay it. And they
Probably
said
got it.
yes. Mostly because like our health exam was meant to be just after we came back from America. And I think we just we just didn't want to see it.
If we went into the hospital at that time, we'd be like, you're dead.
But now it's when we come back from America. So I guess we pushed it back to
your health report's gonna be an atrocity.
Oh yeah.
Like if you fought in a war recently, like what's happened to your spleen?
Have you been carb loading?
You have carb loaded too much. It's gonna be.
Is that what the doctor told you?
Do you enjoy carb loading?
Are you Weinstein?
I see here you're a cyclist.
Oh my god.
Today's episode is sponsored by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer.
Guys, how do you feel about shopping online?
Love it. Can't stop with doing it.
Do it all the time.
I mean, do you even go to physical stores anymore?
Never.
No, not really.
But considering how often that is, how many times do you actually have a promo code ready to go at the checkout?
Literally never.
Never.
Well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past.
Oh my god.
We are reaching the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds to your cart. Connor, what did you save money on with Honey?
I used Honey to save about $15 on some brand new lenses we bought.
Well, guess what, guys? Honey doesn't just work on desktop, it works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and boom, you can save on the go.
If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight out missing out on free savings, guys. Missing out. And by getting it, you're not just doing yourself a favor, but you're helping us out too.
So get Honey for free by going to joinhoney.com/trashtaste. That's joinhoney.com/trashtaste. Links in the description below.
Back to the episode.
You know, this year, for some reason, I just lost a lot of motivation. Sometime around April, a few things went wrong. After the Ken Watanabe thing came out, the documentary, I was very happy, on a high.
Yeah.
And then the earthquake came and knocked down the studio, and I was like, ah, shit. And then I went on Journey Across Japan, which is a fucking nightmare to shoot.
Yeah.
And I ruptured my eardrums and got heat stroke every single day.
You ruptured your eardrum?
Yeah,
Which is
so
hilarious.
I did some water sports, and I came off this like speedboat, smashed into the water like that.
Yeah.
And it, like, just blew a hole through my eardrum.
It was amazing because we didn't.
Yeah, sure
I
it was.
wish I had filmed my POV of it because it was Chris and Ryotaro on the back of this boat.
Natsuki.
Oh no, it was Natsuki. Sorry, it was Chris and Natsuki on the back of the speedboat.
Yeah.
This thing was probably like the centrifugal force was probably like it's going at like.
It's like they use NASA to like launch people into fucking space.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
so they're
like,
ready for
I
the
reckon
G-force.
you were going at like at least 60, 70.
The problem was,
kilometers.
Natsuki and I, we did this competition where it was one of these things we hold on to the back of a rubber ring as it's being tugged around.
Yeah.
And Natsuki and I were up against Joey and Ryotaro, and we weren't doing very well, but we were like, we're going to nail this one, Natsuki.
Yeah.
And we held on really long and did really well. And this guy, he must have been like in the Yakuza or something. This was a really shady outfit doing these water sports. He was like, max speed 100, and he fucking took us round the corner, and I knew, I was like, if I fall off, like, I'm going to get brain damage.
Yeah.
Probably have done.
It was so fun. And I remember just the moment Chris let go of the ring, it was like he actually tumbled on the surface of the water.
Oh my God.
It was like falling off a vehicle.
Yeah, it was really bad. And, you know, the best way...
He just like flew across the, like a skipping rock. He just flew across the surface of the water. I'm just like, holy shit. He's dead. He's like straight up dead.
It's like fucking dam busters. Bomb goes over the water.
Did you capture it in 4K?
I think we did.
Good stuff.
Well, it doesn't really do it justice, though. The pain was... It's like, imagine getting like a screwdriver and ramming it down your ear. It's like that. And then the pain was unimaginable, and I had to like not pass out in the water because I was like, oh.
But then we took Chris to go see an ear and eye specialist because there was one in Ishigaki that just happened to speak English as well. And we're like, great, let's go to that. Right. And I remember because I was sitting there doing the translation thing, right? And they'd put the camera inside Chris's ear, and I'm just like, oh my god, there is an actual fucking hole.
And there's a hole in.
It's just a straight up hole in his eardrum. I'm like, he's deaf. Like he's just like, there's no recovering from that.
It was really bad. Like, I was deaf in my right ear for like a month and a half.
But then the guy was like, you are okay.
Well, you can recover from that.
You can. You're here. It eventually recovers. I was scared about flying on the plane the day after that happening, but it was like, no problem. There's a hole in your ear, so the pressure goes straight through. I was like, yay! And the plane wasn't too bad.
And he was literally just like, here's some painkillers.
But then I had the UK trip a month later, and the hole started to heal, and I could start hearing again. But the doctor that I saw in Sendai was like, oh, it's very. You know, because your ear's still kind of sensitive, it could just explode on the flight.
Yeah.
Pressure sort of builds up. It's
Right.
weak.
Yeah.
So that was really unpleasant. So the build up to the flight to the UK, I don't like flying.
I was going to say you don't like flying anyway, right?
And knowing half your head's going to explode mid-flight and there's going to be crap everywhere. Like, it was just like, oh no, kill me. And so I had this like succession of bad things happen.
Right. Yeah.
And then right at the end of that, it was like, here's a health report just to fucking kick you while you're down. It was like, no, my blood pressure and everything's really bad.
Yeah, but
So-
UK, you went ham as well.
Yeah.
You did not hold back.
I did go ham. I ate a lot of ham.
Every
as well.
single time I saw Chris, it was like dessert, a cheese board.
Camembert. Camembert again.
We went to this, oh my god, that restaurant we went to.
Oh, the
Chris-
Blumenthal
When
restaurant.
Chris was just like, help me, please help me with this board. And we were all like, no.
How much camembert would you like, sir?
Oh, that
Yes.
was fucked as well. With that restaurant, when you mugged me off. So, you know, we're going to go meet at this restaurant, this really fancy, what's the name of the chef?
Essen Blumenthal.
Well, whatever, I don't give a fuck, but Chris loves these restaurants.
It's an all right restaurant. I'll go back.
And so I get there first, and I'm like messaging Chris. I'm like, I don't know, what's the reservation under? What's the reservation name? Because I'm like, what did you put it under? Is it your name, your friend's name?
Yeah.
Joe? I'm like, whose name is it under? So he replies to me with the name Barry Chopsticks. What? Right?
I was sarcastic. I was like, what do you think it is? Barry
so
Chopsticks?
sarcastic. Literally just Barry Chopsticks via text. Nothing to go off, right? And so I think this is like him fucking with me, right? So I message him. I'm like, what's it really under? He sees it. 10 minutes goes by, doesn't reply. And I'm waiting outside. I'm like, I want to fucking go in the restaurant. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just go and ask. So I go into this it's in the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in London, which is like this ridiculously fancy hotel. There's literally like the Queen's Guards are outside this hotel. It's ridiculous. And if you go in there and you look even remotely poor, they're like, no. Yeah. Like they just like, so I'm going in there and I'm like, yeah, I have a restaurant reservation. So they let me in. They go into this ridiculous lobby, which looks like, you know, the British Museum's stolen artifacts all combined into one.
It was ridiculous.
And then you go up here and there's another desk and I'm like, oh, I have a restaurant reservation for Barry Chopsticks. Swallow. Okay, wait. And they're looking, and they go, yep, go right ahead. so then I'm like, oh, this motherfucker actually put it under Barry Chopsticks. So then we're walking through this hotel, which is like, just again, it's like the most immaculate. I have like 5 armed guards escorting me and they all look like butlers and stuff and it's ridiculous. I go to this other place. Again, I'm dressed in I'm sweating. It was so hot in the UK. I'm sweaty. I look gross. I'm wearing jeans. I go to this other guy and we're finally at the front of a restaurant. I'm like, oh, that wasn't the actual thing to get in the restaurant.
They have a reception for the reception.
They have a reception for the reception.
Okay.
And then there's this guy really fancy. And he's like, oh, what's the reservation name? And I go, once again, I'm confident this time now because I got through the first one. I was like, yeah, it's under Barry Chopsticks. So then he looks at me like, starts looking over the list and he's like, we don't have a reservation for Barry Chopsticks. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, but we do have a reservation for Chris Broad. Are you friends with Chris Broad? And I was like, how the fuck do you know that it's Chris Broad? Is Barry Chopsticks referring to? Genuinely, he was like, are you friends with Chris Broad? And I was like, yes. And he's like, oh, very well, this way. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm texting Chris, I'm like, you're an asshole. You're actually an asshole. You're a giant
Meanwhile,
dickhead.
Chris and I, we were traveling in the same taxi together to the restaurant. We were just fucking losing it in the back of this taxi. Just like, can't believe he
So
actually
clearly the guy
did
knows that it was Chris Broad and must have recognized me.
No, what if he did? What if it was just like a random guy who just didn't have a booking and he was just like, are you friends with Chris Broad?
Why would you ask that? Like, you must have known that it was Chris Broad and that I turned up. And that I was
Thank
friends
God
with
there was
Chris.
no one there that had a reservation actually called Barry Chopsticks.
Oh,
It's
God
really
forbid.
confusing.
Yeah, so then the guy probably just thought I was like some racist or something. But I was like, why would you tell me that name? And then at no point, he'd seen the message, reply to me and tell me the actual name. Because what I thought was that Chris was trying to be like, some like he thought he was too famous or something, and paparazzi.
No.
I can't let them know my real name's.
No.
Celebrities always book under aliases. That's what I thought was going on. But Chris thought he was too big, and then he had to have an alias.
Sarcastic. I was like, what do you think?
Oh, so funny.
I'm definitely making restaurant reservations with the Barry Chopsticks from now on.
That's just my alias from now on. Barry Chopsticks.
Oh, that's the highlight of my trip to the UK, to be honest. Watching that unfold.
So expensive.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
This is a 2-star Michelin restaurant as well.
I heard you went to the restaurant and ordered from the a la carte menu. You went
because remember the set menu, the course menu looked shit.
Yeah.
It looked awful. It sounded dreadful.
It was also a bit overpriced as well.
It was
a 2-star Michelin. Of course, it's overpriced. That's
everything was overpriced.
Yeah,
like
that's a given.
Of course, Chris brought us here.
No, I'd have been happy at Five Guys.
It was no, you would not. The menu, all the mains were like $100, and I was like, they were like £60.
Nah, you just
They
chose
were.
the
They were like £60.
They were
All
like
the mains
£60,
like £60, and I was like.
The entree was like 20, 30 pounds. I'm like,
okay, the entree was better than the main. I don't know what it is about fancy restaurants. All the starters are always better than the main.
that meat fruit though.
Yeah,
I feel like because with those fancy restaurants, they really have to pack so much into like the entrees and the appetizers because it's like a smaller course.
It was like this pate covered in the shape of an orange in a mandarin. It looks like an orange.
Oh fuck yeah! I bet you loved that. I bet you loved that, didn't you?
I didn't like the orange part, but the pate.
for fuck's sake.
The pate was amazing. It was so, and they gave you so much, and they gave you unlimited thick bread as well. And we all got full off the bread before the main.
Carb loading.
The
sourdough bread.
Honestly, it sucks to say the bread was better than the main. The bread was
Probably
free.
was, yeah.
The bread was so good.
The bread was really good.
And that's what you do at fancy restaurants. You just get fill up on the bread.
It was so good. The bread was insane.
Yeah,
it was so good. And then Chris got this cheese board for dessert. And he got it like every single time we went out, a cheese board. But this cheese board was ridiculous. It was massive, and Chris was full. And then he's just looking at us.
It's like 7 different types of cheese on this cheese board.
It's like, what's the Matilda guy called again?
Brucey.
Brucey. You know Matilda when he's like shoving the chocolate cake in his mouth. Chris was just shoving this cheese in his mouth, like crying. Like, does nobody want a slice of cheese? No, Chris, we don't.
Oh my lord, what a trip that was.
That was so funny.
You're the first person I've met who actually orders cheese for desserts. For desserts,
Yeah.
because I've like cheese is just like it's like to me ordering cheese as dessert for dessert is like ordering another main. It's like it's so filling. It's so filling by itself. Like sometimes
Cheese
I
to
just
share is good for a dessert.
Yeah.
But I don't want a whole cheese board.
I don't want a whole cheese board to myself.
Chris is like, why am I gaining weight? By the way, for dessert, I'll have 5,000 calories of cheese.
5 kilograms of camembert. That was good though. Like, I had a really good time in the UK though.
I fucking bet you did.
It was good. It was really good to be back, and I think one reason that I put on weight and wasn't very happy was because
cheese boards.
Cheese boards were one part of it, but just not going home for 3 years, whatever it was.
You seemed like, people mentioned this during our live show we did. Everyone was like, Chris seems actually happy.
He likes life now.
Yeah, people were like, Chris is really energetic and happy about being in the UK.
I mean, the first half of this year, I was not myself really. I wasn't really happy, and I think it's just not going home, seeing family for all that time does that. And Japan is great, but it can weigh you down, and there's lots of things that can bug you, and you need to leave the country once every year or twice a year, if preferable. Yeah. So, and I didn't do that for 3 years. I didn't see my family, and I think there was a lot of mounting anxiety and pressure about that.
Yeah.
And that's why I ate all the cheese. It's not because I
drown the anxiety with cheese.
That's the main reason I ate all the cheese. It's the only reason.
That was the
I would
reason.
normally do that.
Yeah. Did you notice anything different about the UK this time that you went back?
Nothing works. So
nothing works.
Everyone's on strike constantly now.
Well, the day we went to this luxurious restaurant with Barry Chopstick, like the fucking trains weren't working. So Joey and I had to like battle our way through London on a bus,
catch a bunch
which is
of buses.
why I was really angry. And Connor was like, "What was the name under?" I was like, "What do you think it's under?" Barry Chopsticks. And every time I went to London, there was a strike of some sort.
Yeah.
I'm all for strikes, just not when I'm there. Do it.
Well,
The workers are like, guys, Chris is coming into town. We should probably wait a bit.
I went into London maybe 3 times, and I was very unlucky every time was the time I was going in.
I've had such bad experiences with cab drivers, with like Uber drivers and stuff in London, that I actually got a black cab one time.
Oh, right. It's a London
black
official cab.
Like an official London cab.
Oh,
and I was like, can you take me here? And I was like, he's like, yeah. I was like, do you know like where that is? And he looked at me, he's like, what? It's like, I'm a London cab driver, right? Of course I know what that is. And then I was like, all right, okay, all right. Obviously he knew it. I was just like, all right, sorry, mate. I was just making sure because I thought it may be a little specific.
That's how you know you're too used to Japanese cab drivers.
Because
they never know where you're going.
Well, that's why like London, like there was like this big strike with like London black cab drivers when Uber first got launched, because you have to go through like a rigorous set of qualifications to get like your black cab license. You have to know the streets, know London in and out, and then up comes Uber and fucking technology with GPS, and suddenly that knowledge is useless now. Well, not useless, but
it's completely unfair to the black cab drivers. To be fair,
it sucks though, because it's like, when I lived in London, it was just Uber, but now there's like 4 like giant, like what are they, cab ride share, what are the fuck
ride share companies,
what they can't call them a cab company, that's
ride share companies,
and they all drove all the prices down.
Yeah.
Of like, because Uber used to be really expensive, about just expensive getting a normal cab. But then Bolt and stuff and all the other companies, it's ridiculously cheap to get a cab now in London with one of these apps. So, it's hard to get people to be like, yeah, we should keep the cabs. But also, I really don't want to pay £50 for a 20-minute journey. I'd rather pay £20.
Yeah.
It's hard to, get people on board with it when they're like, I like cheaper cabs.
Also, but I feel like part of it is due to the fact that London is such like a heavily tourist country,
it's too
city.
expensive. It's just so
and like black cabs are just, I guess, like part of that experience, that vibe.
For sure.
I mean, that's the only. I can't think of any other reasons they would choose to keep the fucking red phone boxes, because they all smell of piss. Like you go to London, no fucking Londoner goes to take a picture.
Well, I realized when one of my friends wanted to take a picture of the red the boxes, like all of them looked really bad, and they were like, is there going to be one that doesn't look bad? I'm like, 5% chance. That's good. And that's probably in a closed off area, like maybe.
Because I remember the first time Sydney went to the UK. When she moved here, she was like so excited to see one of the red like phone boxes. She was like, "Oh my god, it's one of the red phone boxes! Oh my god, get your phone out! We're gonna take a picture right now!" She fucking bolts in, opens the door, rushes in, picks up the phone box, and then as soon as she does, she just gets hit with this wave of smell, and she's just like. And there's just a picture of just Sydney with the phone box. She go. That's like her first experience.
Oh my god!
Like in the
accurate photo.
POV, you've landed in the UK. London's good, but man, when London was really busy, it was miserable. When like the day we went, you just couldn't move around much.
Well, it was the Queen's Jubilee.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But some other days it was really, really busy, and I was just like, oh, this is shit.
Did this IRL stream on Connor's channel, obviously, down the
Yeah.
Thames, and we stopped at this restaurant. This guy came over with this really nice like toy doll. What was it?
It was a Giorno Giovanna pen.
And he tried to give it to you at the Trash Taste London event, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I couldn't make it, and what a coincidence! I've just run into you here. Definitely not stream sniping you." Anyway, he gave Connor this toy.
Yeah, he trying to make
and Connor's like, "Oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you very much. Away with you peasants." And the guy was like, "Oh," like, he walked off. And then we're still in the stream, and Connor just went, and just broke it there and then. Dropped it on the floor, snapped in half.
Not on purpose.
And then the chat was like, "Oh my god, you're awful." And then the guy just happened to come back. He was like, "Oh my god, you've broken the present I gave you." really weird situation. Middle of London on Queen's Jubilee Day, watching Connor break all these
Wasn't
toys.
ideal.
How was your Excel London event where the guy came up on stage? That looked fun.
That's one of the harder ones.
That was a learning experience. I mean, you never know how you're going to act in that kind of situation until that kind of happens, I guess. And I guess we learn a lot about Trash Taste, and we learn a lot about ourselves as well.
I was just a deer in the headlights the entire time,
you
I guess.
looked like completely out of it. You were kind of quiet, and you were like, you've got your favourite school teacher you don't want to disappoint, and then they lecture you. That's what it was like. Okay, mate, you've had your fun and games. Now, and it was just like
he was like Garnt was like a guidance counselor. He was like, "Now, why did you come up on stage?"
You were like your favourite teachers just like told you off. Like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, sir, I've let you down."
Because like I was prepared to throw hands, but I wanted to like de-escalate the situation before. So I think I just went into like disappointed parents mode, right? Because like before you throw hands, you like, to me, when I hear like the disappointed voice, that hits me harder than if someone's like screaming or shouting at me because like, "Oh shit, I've done something wrong. I'm sorry, sir."
Words did not mean anything.
No,
to
words
him.
did not mean anything to that guy. Yeah.
But also, we should never have been in a situation where we even had to consider throwing hands.
Yeah.
But we spoke about that, and the security was terrible until it wasn't.
Yeah.
They sorted that out real quick. We
Wasn't
had,
exactly the bodyguard. No one threw themselves up there.
The next day we had like Gav from SAS.
I love. There's a clip of you at the one in Los Angeles. What was the event called?
Anime
Expo, yeah.
And you're like walking with like a fucking army of men. You're like, it's like I used to be able to relate to Sea Dog Viet. Now he's got an army. Private Jeff Bezos army.
That shit was crazy. It
was like a scene out of fucking 300 when you walked into that event in the videos. You're like, King Leonidas gonna kick someone down a hole.
Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't. We wanted security for that. We didn't say, hey, we want 10. Yeah. But I think they
just kept spawning.
They were like, I think what happened was someone was like, we need more people because this is too much. Like, we need more.
I think MCM, I think MCM set a standard and everyone saw that, or all the conventions saw that, because all the conventions that we went to referred to that like incident to be we don't want a repeat of that.
No. How come you don't do conventions?
I'm doing an event in London when I go back.
Oh, you have like anime conventions or something. I'm sure you get invited to a bunch.
I don't know anything about anime.
Would you go to?
I'll just be like the Satoshi Kon convention. I'll go to that.
Only Satoshi Kon.
People always ask like, when does Chris come? I'm like, I don't fucking know Chris. Don't ask me when Chris is coming.
I don't know.
Chris when Chris.
Nobody invites me. I only got invited. I did get invited to one this year. Actually,
Japan was
Japan Expo.
Well, there's Japan Expo and there's the UK one as well. I can't remember what that's called.
I think if I'd been invited to the one you guys went to, I'd have been like, yeah, I'll go.
Really?
Yeah, MCM?
MCM, yeah.
I've been invited to one called Animazement in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Which is like that's like an anime / like Japan.
Yeah, I got invited to one in
Hyper Japan. That's the one in the UK.
Hyper Japan. I'd do that if they invited me. I don't think they've invited me before. But I know
if the price is right, of course.
If the camembert's there,
they just leave trails of camembert. I sure hope Chris doesn't come to our convention.
We have cheese boards.
We have no money, but we have an awful lot of camembert. I'm like, all right, let's get it. But like, yeah, I don't. If it's a Japan one, then probably I could do it. But anime, what can I talk about again?
You don't.
I
love
Akira. It's great, isn't it?
You don't talk. You just sit there and sign autographs.
Where's the fun in that?
Meeting your fans.
You get to meet your fans.
I do want to meet my fans. I got this because I haven't been back to the UK at Christmas. Christmas is my favourite time of year. I've got this event in London that I'm doing, and it's because there's like 500 people there, and I'll meet them there, and that'll be fun.
Yeah. Have you ever done like a public event where you get to like meet your like viewers and fans and everything like that?
Yeah.
Well, you did that first Journey Across Japan one.
I did one after Journey Across Japan, and I feel like I did another one that I've forgotten. But I guess the short answer is no.
It's a TC one.
Yeah, I did some stuff for TC, but I'm all for it. I've got a Halloween event as well.
Oh,
which I'd love
nice,
to have invited you to, but you're going to be in Wisconsin, so or somewhere in the far-flung.
No, we'll be in Portland.
Yeah. The last
somewhere
week
in the
November.
US.
So I've got like a Halloween event meetup thing that's coming up. So I've got like 2 events. Yeah, in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So I'm doing some stuff, but no, like, I'd be up for doing a convention. The opportunity's there. The price is right.
Have you ever signed anything before for fans and everything like that?
Yeah, it's usually the photos though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had a guy in Don Quixote, like the Mega Don Quixote in Shibuya once come up to me and he wanted a signature. And I was filming a TC video doing something and I was like, have you got a pen? He was like, no. I was like, how's this going to work then? So we spent 5 to 10 minutes walking around Don Quixote amidst a shoot I was doing, trying to find a pen so I could sign something for this guy. Yeah. He was a little bit rude. Like, most people are nice. This guy wasn't. And he was not watching. But we found a pen. And I was like, okay, we've got the pen. Let's get this signed. What do you want to sign? He was like, actually, can I just take a photo? And I was like, oh, I'll fucking kill you. And that's why I don't do signings.
That one guy.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, we literally went on this like Indiana Jones fetch quest to get a fucking pen all for nothing.
You searched for it.
Yeah, I was with him.
Why did you search
I did it because I was being nice. I was like, we'll find this pen. We'll get the signature.
You should have just been like, go get a pen.
I don't know why after this like adventure he flipped and was like, let's just have a photo.
Yeah,
he just spend time with you.
He did, and he had his 10 minutes of fun.
Yeah,
so
that was all tactical. See, because like he just wanted to spend time with you. Be like, yes, I don't have a pen.
But like, I mean, I did this when I did this TC event after Journey Across Japan one. We had about 100 people there, and I spent an hour. I think I spoke to every single person. Yeah, and I enjoy it. I like meeting people. So
did you use? Did you have to make up a signature on the spot?
Yeah. Do you have a signature?
It's my signature, isn't it? Do I have a signature?
No, like as in like, do you have
Chopsticks?
Do you have do you have an abroad Japan signature?
Yeah,
there's an abroad Japan signature. What do you have one for Trash Taste then?
No, I have one for Gigak.
I have one for the anime man.
By signing my real name,
it's not my real name.
I would be.
Yeah, I've got Sea Dog.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Gigak.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a variation of my real signature.
Oh, I've seen it because 10,000 people have tagged me every time someone gets an Apari shirt saying, "You've got more drip than Chris now." Literally, I don't know how many shirts you've sold. It must be 1 billion because every fucking day for the last 3 months, it's like, "You've got more drip than Chris now." Because every time you get a shirt, that is the thing it says. I don't know who signed off on this. I'm going to have one of you killed. I mean, you're going to die now. Yeah. Taken for granted.
Because three of us have 3 different messages and it gets randomized.
Next time we'll write 3 different messages to Chris when we launch our next match.
Every shirt you sell, I get tagged in it. It's like, "You've got more drip than Chris." No. So I've seen your signature a few times.
Are you not worried about having your real signature out there?
Is that something you need to worry about?
Well, I mean, signature forgery.
People are going to start cashing checks for your signature.
Oh shit! Oh god!
If they happen to like grab your bank information, they could easily sign off on it if they know what your signature is.
Oh my lord!
Did you not think about this?
I've not done a convention. There's 1,000 people my signature.
Exactly. I remember AX. We were doing signings together. And then this was the first year, obviously, we had like Trash Taste at a convention. And then someone saw Maylin in the background and they asked for her signature. And Maylin's like never signed anything in her life. And so we call her over. She excited to get her to sign her first thing. And then as she puts the pen down and I go, "Maylin, do not put your real signature down." Yeah, this is make up a fake signature. And then she puts the pen down and I'm like, I said that and then I like crashed her for like 5 minutes, I think. She was like,
"And your security card, please."
Just process down those 3 magic numbers in the back of the card.
Jesus. I remember Pete Premier 2 did a Twitch stream once and showed off my business card with my phone number. And I was like, "You fucking God, I'm going to have you killed, Pete." And he like took down the stream. It was very kind of him, to be fair. I was like, Jesus.
That's such a picture.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you should probably make up a new signature.
What would it be?
Just abroad in Japan.
Yeah.
Camembert.
How did you make a camembert?
Affable.
Barry Chopsticks.
Yeah, Barry Chopsticks.
BC, my initials reversed. Yeah.
Broad Chris.
Why not?
Broad Chris.
Jeffrey Broadstein. All right, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Noted for the future.
Yeah.
But no, I would say yes to a convention if the opportunity arose.
And the price was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In America or UK or anywhere?
I'd like to do it. So I actually turned one down in Italy.
Oh,
just because I'd just come back from the UK and I didn't want to go all the way to Europe again.
What kind of convention was it? Like a Japan?
It was a Japan anime convention. I
Right.
can't remember the entire name of it. And I thought about it. But
Damn, free holiday to Italy.
Yeah.
it was, but then I was like, but then I have to probably go to the UK and see my family and friends.
God forbid. God forbid.
I just come back from all that, and I didn't want to be like, I got to go again. And I don't like flying, so
Yeah.
that sort of took it up, took the fun out of proceeding, shall we say?
Right.
Yeah.
What else you get up to in the UK? 'Cause you were there for a while, I saw. Right?
Yeah, no, I don't know what I did. I did a church and a prison. That was fun. I got some.
Oh, shit. So shit.
It wasn't shit.
It was literally shit. It was awful.
Oh, this is not fair.
Yeah.
Why is it not fair?
I remember
You had a much better time than I did, so I don't want to hear it.
I remember I disappointed an old man though. I made him lose his faith in the youth of today with a drone incident. Do you remember?
What?
Do you remember the drone?
Oh yeah. So Chris wants to get these drone shots. So we're getting these drone shots in this country field near the church area.
Yeah.
And so we're just driving, and then Chris wants to get his drone back. So we pull up into this like really dirt road opposite someone's house.
Yeah.
And the drone's coming down. And if you know anything about like rural UK, people are very nosy.
Right.
Like when something happens near their land, they tend to be like on the ball, especially older people.
Yeah.
Because it's like they know everything that happens near them.
Yeah.
They do not miss a beat. And I thought, oh my God, when Chris is putting the drone down outside someone's house, I was like, oh, they're going to come out. I know they're going to come out. So the drone comes down into the thing, and I grab it and put it in the car. And as we're coming out, this older gentleman comes down and basically like flags us down.
Right.
And so Chris, had 2 choices: stop or just go off.
Yeah.
So Chris decided to stop.
Gentleman. Affable.
Yeah. So then the guy, you know, he's like, is that your drone that just went into that field? And Chris was like, you could see the decision in Chris's head of like, do I lie? Do I tell the truth?
I lied, didn't I?
So he lied. He said, no, it wasn't my drone. Don't know. And he's like, oh, because, you know, it looked like it went in that field. And, you know, I hope something hasn't happened to it.
Yeah.
And then Chris was like, oh, I lied. Yeah, it was my drone.
I literally said that.
Chris was like, yep, I lied. It was my drone. And the guy looked so disappointed. The guy,
I can't believe you lied to me.
looked like it was like his son had just told him he lied.
That's the exact way you admit to your parents as well. Sorry, Mom, I did lie.
And he was like, oh,
I did do it.
Okay, then. Well, it was really awkward and really just, I think it was just like two awkward people talking to each other. I'm just sitting there crying in the corner laughing while they're just like, well then, yes. By the way, there's a beautiful view up here. It was just like, I was cringing. It was like out of
the thing is,
in-betweeners.
I thought he would be like, why are you flying a drone? I don't know what people in the UK think of drones. I flew one there. It's my first time. And I was like, shit, is he going to report me to the police or something? So I was like, no, it's not my drone. Yeah. I don't know why I then went, it was my drone, I lied. I should have reworded that like, oh, that drone, yeah, that was mine.
Oh, yeah, because the two drones.
But that would have felt like less like awkward.
He's just like, I lied.
I don't know why I said I don't know why I literally said, oh, sorry, I lied.
He literally just went, he immediately back.
Was it just the guilt of just
I think it was.
Because he was a really nice old man.
He was a nice man.
And you could tell that he meant he was trying to help the person who lost their drone.
Yeah.
And so then Chris felt bad immediately and then backpedaled. Which, you know.
In the worst way.
His faith in the youth of today shaken.
I'm never trusting a young person ever
I'm
again.
not talking to someone under 30.
You could tell that guy wasn't out for blood. You know, because sometimes old people come out and the first thing they say is
they got a chip on their shoulder.
They're just ready to fight whoever did that.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, Chris lied.
It's just like,
Chris lied.
And now he's going to be that kind of guy from the next one.
And now that guy's not going to trust people.
The moral of the story of this episode of Trash Taste, never lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie, guys. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
so, you know, people ask me that, like, did you actually have a 5-star hotel booked? I did that night. And then Chris dragged me to this shit church. It was awful.
It's fun, wasn't it?
And everyone in the comments like, whoa, a church. But obviously being raised in like the UK, you see churches all the time. So I was like, I don't want to stay in a church. It's like being a kid again. I hated going to church as a kid.
I'd run out of ideas, right, on this trip to the UK. I needed to do a video because I had nothing planned. And I was like, we'll do a wacky weekend. And because it was the Queen's Jubilee, everything good was literally sold out or taken.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we found it, but there was a church and I was like, that'll do. Fuck it. Let's go there. And
Fuck it.
fuck it, we're going to a church.
It was awful, but there was a really good pub next to it. Really, really nice, actually.
Yeah.
But it was really, I don't believe in ghosts, but it was quite unsettling staying in a church. I woke up at 3 a.m. and you're just in this pulpit of a church and you just hear like creaking and like...
They provided us a hot water bottle to fill up. And I was like, well, I'm using it. Chris thought I was like dumb. He's like making fun of me, being like, oh, you don't need a hot water bottle. It's hot today. And I was like, all right, we'll see at night. And then in the morning, he wakes up like shivering, going, I should have used the hot water bottle. And I was like, yeah, you should have.
It was a really weird 2 days thing because I did that and then we stayed in this prison.
Yeah, I saw you guys stayed in a prison.
Couldn't convince me to do the prison. I was like, no, not doing the prison.
I thought it was going to be a lot more pleasant than it actually was.
It turned out halfway through the tour that someone had like killed themselves in our cell. They'd like put a rope around their
he
window.
was like, he was telling like a ghost story, you know, about like a prisoner that had gone insane, and he was like, by the way, who's staying in cell number 9? And we're like,
that's one of the most active cells.
Yeah, he's like, that's one of the most active cells. A guy hanged himself there, and I'm like, good.
I remember just waking up in the middle of the night. I always seem to wake up at 3 a.m. when I stay somewhere haunted or weird. For some reason.
Yeah.
Woke up and Joey's on the floor like.
I don't know how I fell asleep.
And I was just looking at the window thinking, oh my God, this is really unpleasant in a cell. And I thought, when I booked this stay in the prison night experience, in fairness, it was the cheapest wacky weekend I've ever shot because the church was 100 quid and the prison was 100 quid.
Yeah.
So good cheap accommodation if you want to stay for cheap in the UK.
Yeah, stay in a literal prison.
I thought there'd be like a bed in the prison cell. There was no bed. There was.
What are you expecting? Like a 5-star hotel?
Yes.
It's a prison.
He wanted a massage. One of the dead ghosts.
I thought there would be something. And we There wasn't. There's nothing.
I can understand if they were offering to stay in a prison that they might have like something to sleep on.
We had this lattice metal thing that you put a mattress on.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then the floor.
It looked like a cheese grater. Like
Did you bring like a sleeping bag or something?
Yeah, like the thinnest fucking Amazon basic sleeping
Were you
bag.
using the one that I used the night before?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because I think the champing, as it's called,
Church camping.
Camping.
originally, I think the booking initially had a bed in it, right? But then they removed it because of COVID.
Yes.
And then they were like, you have to bring your own sleeping bags now. It was like, what? It's like, could you imagine a normal hotel doing that?
COVID, just cutting
we've
costs,
removed
wasn't
the
it?
bed. You have to bring your own to the hotel.
The mattress is soaked in COVID.
It's just like, what? I didn't really get it. It was just uncomfortable, the church. It wasn't very fun to sleep in. It was just cold and shit.
Cold and dingy.
Also, Chris and I had this weird thing on the drive to the prison where we just like found a bunch of really weird named English towns.
Joey was loving it. Because Joey's, before this, you've been to the UK once or twice before, right?
Once.
And whenever we talked to Joe about the UK, he's like, "Oh shit, mate, there's like nothing there." Because Connor gave him a tour of like Croydon, and that was it. So I was like, "I'm going to give Joey the best tour and a prison cell."
Yeah.
Take him back to his Australian roots.
But I'd only ever been in like London for a few days and Brighton, and that's my whole experience.
The prison was in a really nice place near Bath, right? Yeah. We're driving there, and Joey's just looking at his phone like Nutley, and all these like weird obscure names like
Crapnel,
and Nutley, and Jack Off.
No, but our favorite was Stratton on the Foss.
Stratton on the Foss, and he's like, "Man, this is so funny."
Like, these are fucking stupid names.
It's ridiculous.
So you guys look at Australian town names and laugh. This is how I feel.
Yeah, Joey had a whale of a time.
Yeah, and I was like, we have to go to Crapnel.
Yeah, we did.
So we actually took a detour to Crapnel. Nothing in Crapnel.
We got up at 7 a.m. after this prison, drove to Crapnel. It's just a farm that was literally crap. And it was just like...
Well, that's why it's called Crapnel, surely, right?
Awful. But yeah, that's the UK, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, though, it was like once we were actually out of London and, in the actual countryside, it was very, very nice.
The UK's good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
What do you think of Stonehenge?
It's there.
The most underwhelming place of like...
Well, because people ruined it for us. You used to be able to go up to Stonehenge.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I wish I would. Yeah, I feel like it would have been a lot cooler if I were actually...
Is it one of like
the
the 7 world wonders or something like that?
Might be,
Yeah, what the fuck is wonderful about it?
It's pretty expensive.
Like it's not wondrous at all.
Isn't it wondrous because they're wondering how the fuck they made it? Because they have no idea how they made it.
Or where they got the stones from or something, right?
I don't know.
Or how they carried the stones?
Yeah, how they would have been able to place the stones like that thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
All I know is it was more expensive than that Michelin star restaurant to go and look at it. You get to the door and it's like 5,000 yen each.
Yeah, I wanted to buy like a little...
I'm thinking yen now.
That's very cheap, Chris.
The one in Hokkaido was better. You could go up to it.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a little like knick-knack for Aki, like a little Stonehenge thing, because I'm like that because we collect knickknacks from all over the world.
Sure.
And I was just like, it's like 70 quid for a fucking knick-knack of Stonehenge. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Who the fuck's buying
Be
this?
70 quid.
It was like
It
was actually like stupid.
Extortionate.
Christ.
Extortionate.
Yeah.
Did you notice anything different about the UK though when you were there?
Honestly, I thought there was, I don't know, maybe it's just where I was living, but there was definitely like a lot more food options. I thought like the food option and just the food,
trendier.
the food quality in general in the UK was just like a lot better.
Oh, God, yeah.
Everyone like clowns on like UK cuisine,
Yeah.
rightly so in some senses. But on this trip back, most of the restaurants I went to were actually like really good, really banging.
I mean, most people mocking the UK food are just Americans who've never left America. So, they...
Or Japanese. Japanese people on British food really annoys me. They're like, "Oh, your food, very bad." I'm like, "Have you been?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Fucking go then. Eat the fish and chips, eat the shepherd's pie, devour the carvery. Like, go and enjoy it and then like rank it and rate it." But I find British food is really good, particularly pub food. There's a reason I put on 4 kilograms in the 3 weeks.
Pub food is
Camembert aside.
Pub food is so good.
Pub food's really good.
Carb loading.
I carb loaded the fuck out of my time
I
in the
can't
UK.
load on beer. Oh, bro, I just go to town.
The UK is good, but I did reach a point. The first 2 weeks I was like, why would anyone not want to live here? It's amazing. It's magical.
Yeah.
And then things weighed me down, like, things going wrong. I remember
Well,
one
things
night...
don't work in the UK. Things
I
don't work.
was staying in like an Airbnb and then the shower just didn't work one
Oh,
morning.
I don't Airbnb in the UK.
Yeah,
I've had so many horror.
it's poor.
Horrible
Airbnb and hotels.
Horrible experiences.
Hotels in the UK are like
What? Hotels are pretty good in the UK.
They are. You don't even
paying like an excruciating amount.
You don't even get a fucking toothbrush. You don't.
I
thought that was weird.
No, that's the same all over the world. It's just Japan and a few other countries,
amenity-wise.
Because
most countries I go to, America, Thailand.
I'm pretty sure most American hotels don't give you toothbrushes.
Really?
Think about when we were in America, the hotel we stayed in didn't give us a toothbrush.
Australia gave us toothbrushes.
Australia gave us toothbrushes.
Yeah. Basically
more countries than not don't give toothbrushes because it's bad for the environment to just give a disposable toothbrush every time. It's a lot of plastic.
Yeah, true.
And also like a lot of hotels, I think reuse soap, not like in the traditional, they like take it and then mash it all down. Right. Which is good. I understand like, okay, I love the convenience of the toothbrush at the hotel, but I get it that it is just a waste. Like you can just bring your own because you're bringing your own medicine or why did you spill it?
Did you just spill it on your eye?
Like, do you really need a toothbrush at the hotel? Because you're probably bringing a bag of amenities anyway, right?
Yes, I do most of the time because if like England had more convenience stores like Japan, I wouldn't mind as much.
Do you bring your own amenities?
I forget all the time. That's
I
because
get it.
That's because
I bring them now because I'm just used to it not having.
Thing is, most hotels that don't supply toothbrushes, if you call up the front desk,
they
do.
Can I
have a toothbrush? I forgot mine. They'll be like, yes. We can
in the more expensive ones, but it's I don't know.
Even like travel lodges do it.
Yeah, but like it's fucking Mendoza, isn't it?
I know. What I'm saying is like it's
save the planet, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Come on, listen. We don't need the fucking toothbrushes. We just bring your own in the.
Although the hotel in Australia had the wooden toothbrushes.
Yeah, exactly. So did the.
So there's ways around
like,
it.
What pisses me off? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wooden ones.
There's ways around it
too. Fuck. The one thing pissed me off about Japan, right? Let's say I just want more toothpaste than they supply. I have to go and get more toothbrushes because they only supply them in a packet, right? So you get toothbrush and toothpaste. So I had brought my own toothbrush, but I wanted toothpaste. So I had to get like 3 toothbrushes and just bin 3 toothbrushes to get the toothpaste I wanted, which felt really bad because I'm like, great, I just threw away 3 perfectly good toothbrushes because they didn't give me the option to just have toothpaste. But at that point,
why would you not just go to a community to just get some toothpaste?
I feel like this is building up to like the Trash Taste toothbrush travel set coming soon. The new plushes. Just make some money. I think the final straw of my time in the UK was just one of my last days. Just one of the ATMs that I use every day. I just watched the guy just piss on it at night all over it, and I was just like, "What is this? Like,
fuck capitalism, bro!"
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh,
don't really use your cash, man. I barely used cash when I was in the UK.
No,
it's like an advertising campaign against.
Yeah, genuinely. After, I mean, I don't like.
I didn't use any cash in the UK or America.
Everywhere's just a tap now.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so convenient.
Yeah. Like £1,000 drained from your account instantly.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Well, I'll certainly not be using cash on that ATM anymore. But just like people just respecting the public space. I like the way in Japan people are really good about taking care of their surroundings.
Yeah.
We don't in the UK, and I think that's a real problem.
Well, a lot of countries don't do that. I think Japan is the weird one in that sense, where people care this much about taking care of their space. Things just work. It's very convenient. Yeah, I mean, I love the UK. It's just like when you go back there for a long time, a lot of little things just build up and build up, and you get reminded, oh, okay, this is why I moved out in the first place. You know.
Yeah.
So we went to Cornwall as well.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Cornwall's beautiful. Like, felt like a different country. I'd always wanted to go there, and
To drive there.
yeah,
It's just
it's quicker to get to Japan than to drive to fucking Cornwall.
Cornwall is such a goddamn pain to get to.
Cornwall is
Yeah,
where?
it is.
Southwest?
Southwest.
Beyond London?
Beyond Nutley and Crapnell, there's a place that's better.
right in the corner, right in the bottom left corner.
Very, very nice
It's
picturesque
Cornwall.
place though.
Yeah, staying like these really beautiful, picturesque fishing towns and things.
Very nice.
Had like a real pasty for the first time that was good.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
I'd love to go back.
Yeah, I went to Cornwall because my UK mates took me there for my UK stag do, and that's where I had my stag. And we went there. It was my first time in Cornwall. Fucking beautiful weather. We tried surfing for the first time, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this in the UK. Also, surfing, fucking hard.
I think balancing on water was going to be easy.
Huh?
Did you think balancing on water?
Okay, I didn't realize you needed that much, upper body strength, right? Yeah. Because I assumed with surfing,
Any water sport, I feel you need upper body strength.
No, because I for some reason I just thought, okay, surfing, it's all about keeping the balance and being able to swim, being a strong swimmer and stuff like that. What I didn't take into account is to get up when you're bored, you have to do like a push up on water every time.
Yeah.
And like by the end of my first surfing session, my arms were jelly, like my legs and everything were fine. It was like my arms I gave out first.
Were you able to master it to some degree?
I was able to stand up on my surfboard. It was one of the most. It was so like just satisfying to like do that. Because have you ever been surfing before?
No.
I really
I
want
kind of like to do it, but
yeah.
Again, I don't know if I'm fit enough.
Trash day special. It's a lot of fun.
Trash day surf
It's a
special.
lot. Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Whereabouts were you in Cornwall?
It's not really that big, is it? I was just in.
It's quite big.
It's quite big.
I was just in the town centre, whatever that was called.
I was in the middle.
There's like 500 towns in Cornwall. I was in the town square of Cornwall. Like, you can't say that.
The middle section.
But like, I would definitely love to go back and I'd give surfing a try.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would kill to see you on a surfboard.
I would love to see
I've
you.
seen you on a stand-up paddleboard, and that was hilarious.
Cheeky.
Just fucking like this on a stand-up
I wasn't
paddleboard.
fucking it, was I? What was that?
Your legs were just like this. It's like, I'm standing up, guys.
Unbelievable. How many hours did it take you to get from like scratch to being good?
Honestly, we were just there for like one day, and I wouldn't say I was good, but by the end of like the first session, I was able to stand up on the surfboard, which was like a decent amount of time.
You literally like rode the wave along?
Yeah. So you catch the wave and you rode it to the end. It wasn't like a big wave. It was just like a little baby wave because we couldn't go too deep in. And I think actually, like it takes more effort as a beginner. I think it's like similar to snowboarding or something where it takes more effort to learn it as a beginner because you're like constantly falling down more. And it takes more effort to like pick yourself up on like the shallower side.
Well, it's also like just a whole new like set of movements your body's just not
Yeah,
used to doing, right?
exactly.
Would you do it again?
I became like a fucking surfer dude when trying it for the first time.
You're like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, did you see me catch that wave, bro? Bro.
And then I went, what back?
That's what it felt like.
It seems to be that guy.
It's kind of like you just gotta like learn by feeling, and it's so hard to describe what you're doing. So you see the wave coming, and then like you turn around, and then you like start paddling, and as the waves come, you start catching it. Like you feel the momentum going, and then you just feel like ooh, and then this rush comes up, and then you like try standing up. I'm doing such a bad job of explaining
You're
it.
explaining it how a
sounds pretty
surfer
good.
would explain it.
Yeah, it's
You do
hard when
justice.
it's like, a lot of feeling.
Yeah.
It's like snowboarding, I guess.
Yeah.
There are technical terms, but it's hard, right, to explain.
Yeah, and it's like wapow. Yeah, and I guess
What is that? You want a drink?
You want to drink some of the alcohol? All right, shall we bring the alcohol out?
No, if you insist, Carl.
All right.
This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
You know what's not fair? The fact that Netflix hides thousands of their shows and movies from you based on your location.
See, you might not know that what's on Netflix in your country is completely different from what someone in the UK or Japan has on theirs. But using ExpressVPN, you can control which country you want Netflix to think they're in.
Damn.
ExpressVPN has over 90 countries to choose from, so every time I run out of stuff to watch, I just switch to another country to unlock all of these new shows.
And here's the best part, guys. It's not just Netflix, it works with other streaming services too.
What?
If I'm feeling a bit homesick, I just pop up BBC iPlayer, guys, because if you didn't know, I work for the BBC and sometimes I need to revisit my past.
So stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/trashtaste. Don't forget to use our link so you can get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/trashtaste. expressvpn.com/trashtaste. Link in description.
Back to the episode.
What have you got for us here, Chris?
This fucking thing. I've drank so many of these because of you.
Apparently, we
Peach
found one in our fridge
It's nice, isn't it? You give gifts
Yeah.
to the
that
trash
you
taste
brought
lads, it just
the
goes in
last
fridge.
time. Yeah.
That was for you. It was yours.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. To
Cheers,
getting
boys.
fit.
Carb loading, right? We are carb loading live.
That's nice. Yeah. From Fukushima.
Fukushima. Ah, nice.
I don't look like that. If you like surfing though, you know who started surfing recently?
Who?
Felix.
Oh, okay.
I met him for the first time with Connor the other day. He's a really nice bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's Felix chap. What's he done? He's a YouTuber, right?
Felix.
Yeah. He was a nice bloke.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like, I think if you met him without knowing anything to do with him, like you just, a normal bloke.
Yeah.
And that's the essence of why he's successful.
Isn't that just most
Why
YouTubers?
did you bring this up?
He's a very nice, down to earth guy.
Are you saying you're not, Chris? You meet you in real
I
life.
mean, he's not as affable as some other people I know, but But one of the first things he said to me, we went to this batting centre, like round one.
Yeah.
And Connor was, hitting balls like he does. He loves it. He's like, oh, I'm going to fucking smash the balls. And like Felix and I were just standing there watching, he just told me a story of how in Sweden, one of his teachers told him that someone got hit in the groin with a baseball and died. And I was like, this is a very good conversation. Like the first 10 minutes that I've known you, someone like having their balls battered and dying from it. And he's like, yeah, don't do baseball.
Is that possible?
That's what I determined. I've debated that for like 10 minutes.
Did his nuts just like explode? Like
Shock. Shock. Heart attack.
Yeah.
He didn't really go beyond that.
Right.
It was quite an interesting sort of opener to our friendship. Really
how do you respond to that?
Yeah, what do you say to that?
I just stood there. I was like, oh. And it was like, well, it's your go now. And I was like, very surreal. We went to this like vegan restaurant where they were like, we have a CBD menu. Would you like to see it? And we're like, yeah, all right. And they brought out this menu, and you can just like lace your drinks with CBD.
Oh yeah.
Which is just literally water. There's nothing. But we did it. We tried a fair bit, and it was just rubbish.
Yeah, Japan's on like kind of a weird CBD.
Yeah.
I've
noticed.
The thing is, if CBD did something, it wouldn't be a thing in Japan. They would ban it like that, because they have a zero tolerance policy on drugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's alcohol or cigarettes, in which case go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And they give you free cigarettes in
we
bars.
are rejuvenating the Japanese economy.
We are
Yes.
We're saving Japan right
doing
now.
what the Japan government has asked us to do as young folk.
It is kind of crazy how short-sighted that announcement was. I just can't fathom it, but also it makes total sense for Japan.
Shall we let in foreigners? Rejuvenate the economy? Take advantage of the weekend? No. Let's make all the young people alcoholics. Fantastic strategy. What could possibly go wrong? I'm so done with the whole fucking why is Japan not open still?
Oh, I think by the time this episode's out, they'll probably...
I do
probably.
think there's literally no more phases it can be. They keep inventing like another phase. So now, at the time of filming...
They're on the Thanos face. Economy.
It's like you have to book through a
tour company.
A tour company, but they don't supervise you.
You have to be on a package tour.
But for individuals.
For an individual, and you're unsupervised.
Yeah.
What's stopping
Except
you?
you are supervised. They just the tour
They ask
agencies have to call you up to be like, "Hey,
Seriously?
are you following the
Yeah.
plan that
fun?
you gave us?" And it's like, and you just have to be like, "Yeah."
Are you having fun at the designated salmon restaurant? Yes, I'm having most fun.
Yeah.
Like, what is ridiculous?
It's basically nothing's changed. Like you going from an organized group tour with other people to an organized group tour by yourself.
Just hurting their own tourist economy, really. I don't know why they're doing it.
I got a lot of comments from people who are like, I'm losing my temper with Japan. I'm going in spite to South Korea instead. And it's like, sure. But
I was like, I'm not going to be like, how dare you?
Yeah. Go there, have fun.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
It's just very short-sighted, and I just don't know why they haven't turned it around yet. And that was one of the things, going back to the UK, going back to Europe, traveling to America.
Everything's just so easy.
Just moved on. I remember I flew in directly to the UK to Belgium, and I landed at the airport, and there was not a mask in sight.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes. Yeah. I know masks are good and they've played their part well, but it's just like I'm so fucking done with them now.
I think it's just frustrating for Japan. We spoke about this on one of the episodes. It's just like Japan's kind of lengths upon which they want you to wear masks, and like they enforce it in such weird and bizarre.
But even though there's no mandate anymore.
Yeah, there's no mandate.
It's all theater now. Here in
It
Japan,
is like you go into a restaurant and you have to put on the mask. So like you'll go in before you get in the restaurant off the street. You'll put the mask on. You'll sit down. And then you can take the mask off. And it's just like, what about this makes any logical sense? You know?
Because the walk from the entrance to your seat, you could spread it.
But not when you're sitting there coughing, eating, and laughing.
Oh yeah, when we flew to Wacken, I remember every time we even remotely spoke, they kept telling us to stop talking.
Yeah.
Because they were like, because of COVID and stuff. They were like,
on the plane?
Don't talk, even though we were wearing our masks and stuff.
Right.
No
Because of
speaking
these
loudly.
Western diseases.
We were just talking at like a normal volume. We weren't being loud, and it was just like, it's like, oh man, really? We still can't talk? Really? Is that?
I think it's just your voice there.
No, we were talking at a
I've
normal
rode on a
volume.
bullet train with Connor maybe 8 or 9 times, and I'd say 50 to 60% those times.
I'm not talking
The
loud.
staff walk up and they're like, "Simasen, choto, shut the fuck up, Kuda-san."
I'm not talking loud.
Here's the voice of like dragon. He's like, "Roar!"
Well, he might not
echoes down the carriage.
Yeah, the windows just start shaking. It's like, what the fuck's happening?
They can feel the bass just like enter their body.
It's just like every time we were speaking way quieter than we normally would
we were
as well.
whispering,
And it was just like every single time they just kept being like, no talking, And it was just like, are we in a library? Like, what the fuck is this?
It still feels like, the first day.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
To go from life where things have just moved on to Japan where it's not.
Yeah.
It's just very frustrating.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's just frustrating that like even the stuff that was like proved to not really have any effect on the spread of COVID, the bizarre rules they made,
This is
keep up.
Pen.
Yeah, and the
Don't get me
whole,
started on that.
the whole go, you go with your family to a restaurant,
Yeah.
and then they put all the dividers up, and it's like
Sure.
I came
my
here
God.
with my family to this restaurant, and they put these dividers up, and it's like,
Yeah, between your friends or whatever.
you're in a relationship with someone, and you've been kissing them all day and every day and whatever, and then you sit down in this restaurant, there's a divider, and it's like, well, why are you still?
Yeah.
And if you dare touch it, they because sometimes they're just like, oh wow.
Yeah, and I feel like they're very sensitive when it comes to foreigners following the rules as well.
Oh, yeah, that also is like.
I mean, I remember the one time that we went to like the ramen tsukemen restaurant
Oh my
together,
God, that
and it
dude
was like,
hated
and it was like me, Joey, and Connor. And basically, for some reason, this guy just had it out for me, and I don't know what it was, because
only
like
for you.
only for me, right? Because every time I would like take my mask off to like take a sip, he'd be like fucking Sonic, just running up to me and going, "Sumimasen."
Yeah, bear in mind, it wasn't like a whole taking off. It was like literally just.
Yeah. I just want to take a sip of water next to like a guy without a mask on, a Japanese guy without a mask on.
Yeah, going ham on
just
Slug
going ham
Town,
on this
yeah.
like fucking tsukemen ramen, and then I swear every time I like even like touched my mask, when you like make a sound and like the dog just like perks up, just like oh. So after like 2-3 times, I would like just touch my mask, like take a sip of the water, and he would just like stare in my direction.
He'd be like, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
He
I'm
actually,
like,
3
I'm
times.
watching.
He was just being a dick.
How
He was
did you
being a
not
dick.
lose your shit? I would have like fuck off.
That monk training.
I felt really annoyed for you.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
can you
was
fucking stop?
about to tell him off because I was sitting next to Garnt and I was doing the exact same thing.
Everyone in that restaurant was not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Garnt was wearing. I was just so annoyed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's just trying to take a sip of fucking. What do you want him to do? Like waterboard himself? Like, fucking.
Sounds like my massage from last episode.
Yeah, no, it was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because we have now had a taste of what the wider world is like, and then come
a lot
back.
of the people, like a lot of like when they've asked people, one of the reasons why they don't want to come to Japan is because of the like how strict they still are about masks.
I
And
think that's
stuff
the
like
that's
that
the concern as well. If you say the doors open now and everyone can come in, a lot of foreigners probably wouldn't wear the mask outside.
No.
Yeah.
And then that would be in the media, like foreigners coming to Japan but they're not wearing masks.
Well, I mean, the
COVID
few,
rate's going up. Foreigners.
the few foreigners that have already somehow managed to come in the past couple of months, I've seen like 95% of them. They're not fucking wearing any masks.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, no shit, because it's like it's been proven now that it's like,
I mean,
at this point now,
the hardest thing
it's
to
just
me
ridiculous.
is, you go outside the moment. It's like a furnace.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah,
outside. It's like
Well, that's why the government's been like, hey, you can take the mask.
yeah.
off.
The government has said
And
it's
no
okay,
one does,
guys.
yeah.
Don't take the mask off. Nobody has.
Yeah.
In Sendai, if I walk down the street, I'd say probably 95% of the people I see are still wearing masks.
Yeah.
38 degrees, 50, 80% humidity, literally unbearable. And it's really fucking hard to wear a mask in those conditions.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get if it's like, say, for example, you're in the middle of Shinjuku or whatever, right? And there's like just fucking, wall-to-wall people everywhere, right? But like, I remember I was in Shizuoka like 2 days ago, and I was in the middle of a fucking field, and there's just an old dude there wearing his mask. I'm like, there is not a person in a 500-meter radius of you. Who are you going to get COVID from?
Yeah.
It's like, you can take it off, bro.
It needs, in Japan,
fine.
it needs that critical mass point.
Yeah.
Because in
Yeah.
collectivist society, I find that, you just need that tipping point.
But no one has the balls to be the first one to take it
and
off.
it's really frustrating. I'll start the trend.
Yeah, and so the foreigners are like, let's show you how we do it, and then
Yeah.
they're like, these goddamn foreigners.
Yeah. They're just proving us right, you know? It's the foreigners' fault.
He hated them for he told the truth.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole.
It's always frustrating to talk about because you don't want to seem like you're anti-mask or something as
Yeah.
well,
Well,
which
I
I don't
mean,
think any of us are.
Yeah.
When I did a post, it must have been a month ago, when I talked about how the government said you can stop wearing masks outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
And everyone still was. I did a post, and I got a lot of pushback from people like, "Just wear the mask, you pussy." Sock. It's like I wear it on trains, on planes, on buses, on everything.
Yeah.
In buildings, outside, when I'm away from people, 50
In the
meters,
summer,
whatever.
it's- yeah.
In the summer, I do not see the logic behind it, and
Yeah.
it just drives me up the fucking wall. So I don't know, and I don't know, just all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
just Pissed me off a bit.
Well, hopefully things get better by the time this video comes out.
No. I just worry that when they let in foreigners en masse, we're talking right now the cap is 50,000 people, and before that we were looking at 1.5 million people a month coming to Japan before COVID. So 50,000 is basically nothing.
Yeah.
But when they push it up to hundreds of thousands, and cases probably will inevitably go up slightly. They'll be like, foreigners did it! It's the foreigners! And it's just like, I'm tired of seeing foreigners
be the
in
punching
Japan
bag.
scapegoated for all these sort of things.
Yeah.
So
I mean, no one's going to correct them. Like no one, they can use it as much as they want, and and a lot of time they platform and vote on these.
It's also not
kind
the
of
first time
xenophobic
they're using foreigners as a scapegoat. Like they've been doing it more subtly since before COVID. So it's just like now now we have a legitimate excuse to be xenophobic. It's like no, you don't. That's not how that works.
I don't know.
I've also forgotten what Japan is like with tourists in this country now, because most of the time I've been here, it's been during COVID rules. So I'm like, because I've never really lived here when the country was really open. I don't really count the first 3 months that we were here, because that was just like an extended holiday. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like.
Well, I have to say, it's quite nice that there's no foreign tourists.
I was going to say, when the country's open, are we going to be complaining about the fact that
I've started getting recognized a lot more in certain areas, and I'm like, oh shit, this is what it's probably going to be like.
Yeah.
But legit, I got to the point where it's like, if I saw a white person in the distance, I'm like, is that someone I know? It's like, wait, how did you get in here? It's like, I swear it got to the point where it's just like every white person in Japan just knew each other. It's like, oh shit.
I went to Akihabara not too long ago because I needed to pick up a bunch of stuff for a video.
Yeah.
And I got recognized 4 or 5 times. And I was
That's one of the most
holy
common places.
Yeah, and I was like, gone full force yet. What's it going to be like?
Exactly.
If you want to get spotted the most, I'd say Asakusa and Akihabara are the top
true.
2 places.
Yeah.
From my experience anyway. And Shibuya as well.
It was a weird experience as a foreigner going into the American embassy in Japan. Everyone just thought I was American, and every time I went in, the immigration thing, they're like, no, this way, and I was like, no, I'm not American.
They're like, what are you doing here?
This
is the British embassy.
3 or 4 separate occasions, I had people think I was American and try to tell me to go to the American citizen thing because I was the only white dude there. And I was like, oh, this is weird. And I was like, I wonder if Garnt got this.
I definitely didn't get that. Okay. They were like, oh, he's where he belongs. All right. Trying to get a green card? Okay, I see you're just married an American as well. Okay.
Yeah, that was weird. And I was like, oh, racial profiling. That was weird, though. That was really bizarre.
The American embassy?
Yeah, I've never been to an embassy before that wasn't the Japan one in the UK.
Yeah,
so the British embassy in Japan's like
I've never
palace.
Been there.
Oh, really?
No. Why would I have gone? Why don't
it's
you go?
Like British Empire times. It's like a really palatial estate. It's probably the best embassy in Japan for a foreign country.
American one, it was even walking
big
up
apartment blocks
up to the thing had shit tons of security, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You walk in and they're like, oh, reservation for Barry Chopsticks, please.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very intimidating going into the American embassy.
Oh, American embassy is terrifying.
Yeah.
Scary.
Going into America in general is
But I didn't even get my visa. That was terrifying.
Why not?
Because they're I went through this whole thing, and then because you guys got yours on the spot, right?
No, they just said it was approved on the
but
spot.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Wait, you didn't get approved on the spot?
No, I got refused.
They were like, you're already American. Why would you need a visa?
Oh, silly, no. It's not right.
Just come back with your actual passport, all right?
So you go through this there's 3 inspections, right?
Yep.
And you're all right, this feels pointless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you hear the word interview, I thought we were going to sit down with the dude.
Yeah.
He was going to, but then I may realize, I guess the amount of people that are coming doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why you want to laugh? What do you want to laugh at? What do you want to laugh at?
Nothing, mate. Nothing.
Go on, laugh.
No.
He's building up to something, I know. Yeah. So you go into this embassy, it's terrifying. You're like, all right, everyone looks depressed and miserable. So we go through the first 2 things. I changed my appointment date. Mm-hmm. So then that caused so many problems already.
Right.
And they were like, the date is wrong on the file. I changed the appointment date, and they were like, it's not what it says on our system. Like, can you please look again? And they looked again, and it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, typing vigorously for 10 minutes. So I'm like, all right, everyone else is way quicker than this.
Yeah.
I wait. She goes around back with my my passport and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Comes back. She's like, all right, go on to the next thing. Go on to the next thing. Finally, I go to the interview.
Yeah.
And the interview is not what you imagine. You don't sit down at a desk like I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a glass screen and someone.
It's like you're going to a bank.
Yeah, literally a bank teller, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they just ask you questions. And I don't know what they asked you guys, but they just asked me. They were like, "So what do you do for work?" And I was like, I'm a YouTuber.
You're a what? Same here.
Yeah. So then, and then I don't know if you had this as well. Then vigorous typing for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, typing for like 5 minutes, and I was like, starting to get a little sweaty because I'm like, this is a long time. Literally, like I want to say 3 to 5 minutes total of me just standing there, where everyone else is getting asked questions like that, and I was like, did I answer wrong? Like, is YouTuber not on the list?
Looking up what a YouTuber was.
And then she calls someone else over, whispers something, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what? I don't think I've done anything wrong. And then she's like, okay, have you won any awards or anything? And I'm like, they don't really give them out for what I do. Like
I want worst take on the trash.
Yeah.
So biggest clown, right? Let me explain this.
Awards, yeah.
I just was like, I don't think anything that would really apply.
Yeah.
And then she again types again for another 3 to 5 minutes. She was very nice though, but it was just very like unnerving.
Yeah.
Everyone else was getting asked questions and then approved or yes or no. Then she goes, right, so can't give you a visa today. And I was like, what? Why? What? I just answered 2 questions. What do you mean? And then she goes, but it'll probably, it might be approved, and if it does, it'll just add 2 days to the process.
Right.
Hands me a piece of paper that in big says refused, and I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
And then it says due to administrative processing. Apparently, the system was down.
Right.
But it was terrifying because my visa said refused, and on the website it said refused as well, and it didn't say anything about systems being down. And for like a week, it just said refused. And I was like,
just shitting yourself.
I'm like, do we have to cancel the tour? Like, what? What's
I would have had to have gone on your place.
How would you get an American visa?
Well, I have to get one for December. For this boxing chess thing.
So
Got to do all this. So you're scaring the hell out of me.
So I emailed like the lawyer on a Friday Japan, so like Thursday for American.
Yeah.
Being like, help, what is this? What is happening? Can you please explain what's happening? Thinking, oh, they'll reply. They like never replied. So the whole weekend I was freaking out and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Is this bad? How bad is it? Is it fine? It's probably fine, right? I think I know it's fine, but it's kind of scary. It says refused and pig. And then like halfway through our cycling thing, it finally said processing. And I was like, all right, good. We got 10% of the loading bar done.
Yeah.
And then like near the end of the cycling, it finally said approved. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the entire time during the cycling thing, people were being like, can't wait to see you in Nashville. Can't wait to see you in Salt Lake City. Can't wait to see you in New York. And I'm thinking, if I get there, what if the visa gets denied and I can't go?
What would have happened if you couldn't go?
We would have
had to cancel the tour.
It's
Yeah.
been like, there's a book Connor on it every
I would just hold an iPad.
It's because before we weren't,
get a sex doll and just strap Connor's face to it
just
on a video.
terrifying, 'cause we got a different visa for the tour.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
normal.
See, I've been to the American Embassy a couple of times, because my ESTA got denied one time, right?
Yeah, I was like, if Joey got it,
Yeah.
there's no way I could.
And so I had to apply for a business visa the first time around, right? And I kind of had like a similar situation when I got the business visa.
Yeah.
Whereas like I didn't get it immediately, but then I eventually got it. But then this time around with this tour visa, I was just like, the woman was just like, so what do you do? I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. And she's like, oh, you're the first YouTuber I've ever interviewed.
Oh, much.
Yeah, really pleasant. And I'm like, well, there you go.
Whereas you just got like laughter.
I will say it is a terrifying atmosphere because it's these 3 Americans interviewing people.
Yeah.
And all you hear is like, what is your job?
Yeah.
Your job. What is it? And then they say something, I don't do, and they're like, what is your job? And it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like these people are
It's like an
getting shouted at.
interrogation.
Yeah.
And these people can't really reply in English.
Yeah.
And it's just like these people are trying their hardest to speak in English, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these dudes sounded intimidating as hell because they're just shouting. And then this one dude in front of me got rejected. And that was really sad. And he was about to like kick off and stuff. But obviously you can't really kick off in the embassy. But that man looked like he was about to throw hands. And he was getting really worked up.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like my interview was like pretty easy actually. I think it's like similar to Joey, where they asked me what I do. I was a YouTuber.
Were they being like loud to some people or like getting racist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like even if some of the Japanese people could speak English, you know, I'm sure like getting shouted at was not helping the stress level and English language skills. Yeah. But no, like I got the same question, and they asked me what I did. I said YouTuber, and then I knew I was in for like a long explanation where they were just like, "What is that?"
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, they were like, "How do you make money?"
He's gonna be baiting you, right?
So they asked me how I make money, and I go like, "Oh, you know, I have like advertising, sponsorships, and everything like that. I have different areas of revenue." And then he goes, "Who puts advertisements on it?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is going to be this is like literally explaining to your dad like how YouTube works and how you make money." And then I go through like the fucking 5-step process of explaining to your granddad how you make money doing your job, what a YouTuber is.
He knew all along. He was just like,
he's just trying to catch you.
Yeah. And then after this 5-minute long explanation, he goes, "Did you do anything before YouTube?" And I perk up and go, "The BBC." Well, I'll have you know, I used to work for the BBC. And then as soon as I said that, he's like, "All right, visa's approved." Wow.
I got probably the best one. The woman literally just said, "What do you do?" And then she said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing a tour." And she's like,
"What do you do? Where are you going? What are you doing?"
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm doing a tour with some friends." And she's like, "Sounds fun. All right, your visa's approved."
Oh.
It was like 30 seconds.
I think I just got unlucky on my day.
I think you just got unlucky.
The system was down. Because I think normally what they do is they pull up your application to look at it.
Yeah.
But I think they just had like my piece of paper to go off of and what I told them. So
Yeah.
they were just like, "Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. So I'll hand it off to someone else in 2 days."
Maybe I had an easier time because I applied for a business visa
Yeah,
beforehand.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Why is it that, you know, when applying for visa, applying for like passports and shit like that, out of like all of the documents that you need in your life that you want the most information about, it's the hardest to get anything about visa or passport information.
Yeah.
Like you send your visa off you send your passport off for like a visa application, they're like, "It could be done in like 3 weeks, a month. I don't know. You order a fucking package of Amazon, you get like a fucking hour by hour like breakdown of where this package
Yeah, to be
is."
fair, I got my passport delivered to me and I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
Thinking that the passport would get like lost in the mail.
Yeah, right.
In the UK, it'd be like such a gamble.
Stolen.
It would just be like, "Oh, free passport."
Yeah.
Royal Mail. Royal Mail rates. Yeah.
Did you get recognized a lot in England?
A few times, yeah. It wasn't too bad though, luckily.
Right.
Yeah. You? Well, I suppose you went to the event, so.
Yeah. I mean, like it was weird. Like the biggest change I noticed this time was that since Trash Taste, you just get recognized of like a fuck ton more. Well, like I didn't know if like your audience was in England or like mostly in Japan.
Mostly in America and then England, I think.
Oh, mostly in America. Yeah. Right.
Oh. Should be me on that tour. Born Japan tour. Is this what we recorded? Yeah,
I guess so.
The Born Japan. You got the Trash Taste mega tour. Every American city. These guys come. It's gonna be fun. Then the Born Japan tour, like me in a room, like £5 a ticket, $5 a ticket, like
£5 a ticket.
It's just like my hypothetical tour that I've just made up.
When are you gonna do Journey
in a hotel? Just like juggling in a
I
fucking
thought it was
room.
like your event coming up.
No.
When are you gonna do Journey Across America?
Journey across America.
Journey Across America.
I'd like to. I'd love to travel across America. Natsuki and I did have some plans to do something the year that COVID was a thing. It kicked off, unfortunately. But he's just too much of a diva now. I think he's driving me mad. When we did Journey Across Japan, I could have killed him. Because I had heat stroke really bad and my ear was exploded. And every day it was just a nightmare. I'd be like, okay, let's get rolling. Who's ready? And then I'd be like, okay, Joey, Natsuki. And Natsuki had gone, just disappeared. He's like, I need a toilet. And he didn't. He'd just go off and smoke like a packet of Marlboro cigarettes every like 10 minutes. Yeah. And he drove me so mad.
I had to keep calling him back to be like, all right, come on, we're going to film. We don't have time. Let's go.
We banned Natsuki from having smoking breaks. And then he was like, I need a toilet. And at one point, I watched him walk to the toilet. And then just as he reached the door, he'd like do a sharp left turn and just disappear. And he just drove me up the wall.
British construction work.
Yeah.
Shady devil. But yeah, no. I'd like to go around America. I'll hear your review from your tour.
Yeah.
You can tell me which.
What would you do
states I
from
should
a
visit.
hypothetical tour of Chris?
It's been me eating camembert in a room. Trying the local cheese of every city.
Trying every cheese in America.
Like camembert mukbang on stage in every city.
It would be it. What's your local cheese in Oklahoma? I'll come.
Sliced plastic.
We have
That'll be my tour. Just me in a room, slowly but surely gorging on.
Well, since you did like UK content, do you think now that the like world's opening back up, you're gonna like do more outside of Japan? Now that there's an actual opportunity to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think it's not an exaggeration to say I've kind of done everything in Japan to some extent.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things I want to do here, and I love this country, and I still want to travel it. But
yeah,
I do want to start looking at doing things outside of Japan more. And another reason I'm building up to this whole kind of wanting to get the fittest I've ever been before the end of the year is next year I want to focus on doing really big, crazy physical challenges. Like I've had this. I basically up until June this year, I just resigned myself to the fact that I'm 32 now. I'll probably just be unhealthy for the rest of my life, and then I'll die. The end. But and then having this wake up call and doing the cycling and the Spartan race and the boxing, all this stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be abroad in a body bag anytime soon. I can turn it around. I can get fit. I can stop eating camembert. There is a way out. And so, if this chess box thing goes smoothly, fingers fucking crossed, and touch wood, hopefully by December, complete with my six-pack, which I'll definitely have, and winning the chess boxing match and doing the Spartan race and the cycle, I'll be in a completely different sort of mindset and fitness level that I can tackle bigger challenges, like climbing, Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest, whatever. I don't know. I don't think I'll climb Mount Everest. There's a lot of people doing that already.
I mean, people who are physically fit still do that and die. So
yeah. Think of the views, Garnt. Think of the views.
I died at the top of Mount Everest.
I think Everest is too controversial now. You can't climb.
Yeah, I don't want to climb Mount Everest. I'd like to go to the Everest base camp. I think that'd be kind of cool, just to see the mountain.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I just want to undertake lots of sort of physical challenges and explore the world a bit more.
Yeah,
and open up in that regard. And that's what I want to sort of focus on a lot more next year. I'll still have Japan as my base, I think, but I'll be like, go off and
do crazy things.
Yeah, I'd sail down the Amazon in a rubber dinghy, the Amazon River. Or I'm definitely going to die. I'm going to die, aren't I?
You said you don't want to be abroad in a body bag. I think you will be abroad in a body bag.
All I want to do is a Trash Taste special up Krakatoa. I want to climb it to the top. No questions asked. Let's go up Krakatoa. But I'm serious. I do want to do lots of really cool physical stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do. It sounds weird to hit 32, 33 next year and just sort of accept that, I'm just going to be unhealthy and not be able to get up the stairs. And to suddenly have this flip in mindset and be like, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to do everything I didn't think I could do. It's made things a lot more exciting and give me a sense of direction that I felt I haven't had the last sort of 8-9 months.
Sounds like you had your like early 30s awakening,
I think I did. And
is this a midlife crisis?
I don't ask. I didn't want to say that because I'm the same age.
That's midlife crisis.
I didn't want to say that.
Well, with your health results, I think it should be a midlife crisis.
I think next year Chris is going to turn up to the studio in a Porsche.
I think looking at my fucking health report, it was like, oh shit, this is not good. I have to turn it around. And it probably is my midlife crisis. I probably am going to live to 64 if I'm lucky. So I do want to do all this stuff while I can, while I'm physically fit. Yeah. Because you never know what can happen. You could hit 40, something could go wrong, and you won't be able to climb a mountain or whatever. So I want to do it now. Yeah. And also people keep saying that even though Garnt and I are the same age, Garnt looks 10 years younger. So I want to reverse the trend. I want to look younger than Garnt, despite both being 32
I think that's just the Asian genes.
That's just the genes.
So fucking young.
Look, when I hit like 50, I'm going to look like 80. That's just how Asian genes work.
When I hit 30, I'm going to look 80.
But so that's the direction I'm sort of heading in, I think.
Yeah, that's very commendable, I feel.
Yeah. It's given me a sense of direction, I guess.
Yeah.
That right.
Because but during the Trash Day special when we went skiing together, right? That was
oh yeah, you were fucked.
You were quite fucked.
Yeah, I don't know
Every
what
10 seconds,
that day.
my knees are fucked.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that day because we went skiing in January, right?
No.
Niseko, right? And Niseko was amazing.
Yeah.
The skiing was good. I was on top form then with the skiing. You claimed that I was lazy. I was just enjoying it at a leisurely pace.
You refused to do any.
Connor's like, we have to race to the bottom. It's a race to the crest. I'm like, I just want to take in the fucking scenery.
Chris was good. He's a good skier, right?
Yeah.
But Chris was being lazy because he didn't want to do reds, even though he's very, very capable of doing reds. You just didn't want to put the work in to do it. And we were like, we don't want to do greens all day, Chris.
Yeah. It was like Luke's second day of skiing ever, and he was still going down reds.
rolling down.
It's still going down.
It's still technically going down. You know?
I wanted my fucking arms intact.
There was like two groups. There was like the beginners and then like not the beginners.
Yeah.
And then Chris joined not the beginners for a day, and we were like, we're gonna go down just reds.
I want to be top of the bottom class rather than bottom of the top class.
That's you get. There you go. You've got Chris's mindset. He wants to be small, big fish,
small pond.
Yeah,
big fish.
He doesn't want to be. Doesn't want to push himself.
But you and Manny are like really good skiers. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to keep up with you guys. And, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, because I remember when we were filming the special, the Trash Day special, I was just like on my ass for half the time. And somehow I still made it down the first hill
really well.
before you, because I looked up and I'm like, Chris is on his ass right now, sliding down. What's going on?
I don't know what happened that day. I don't know if the skis or shoes didn't fit, but I did really badly on the Trash Day special. It was like the worst skiing ever. My legs just were broken. There was something
I mean, it was
wrong.
the worst skiing conditions ever as well.
Yeah, but I'll also tell you what it was when you were going to get your skis, your rental skis, and the woman was like, "How much do you weigh?" And Chris was like,
"You just straight up lied."
We're all just like, fucking down. Fucking down.
That's some copium.
That was the biggest copium you were huffing.
I was looking forward to the future, what I would have weighed.
I was at 80 and we all turned.
What? Excuse me?
I was about 88 kilograms.
That's probably what it was.
I don't know, but I think the equipment, honest to God, I think equipment was the problem. And I didn't warm up.
Blaming the tools.
Don't blame the equipment. Those people were lovely who gave us the equipment.
They were lovely. Equipment
Fine
was shit.
equipment.
I failed really badly on that, and I wasn't happy. So
I mean, the snow was not snow; it was slush.
Yeah, it was not optimal
because we were in
conditions
April
for sure. Yeah,
we were skiing down Mr. Slurpee, like fucking
because there was just like holes of grass.
and if you fell, it was extremely painful.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely hurt yourself.
That falling nonsense. That was a good Trash Day special. So that was really weird. I remember you guys had been driving for sort of 4 or 5 days at that point. We got to Yamagata Zao. And we met in the really nice ryokan, and I remember sitting with Garnt over by the window, talking about something serious, something profound, like the geopolitical situation in Eastern Europe at the moment. And then and then 30 minutes later, I was watching Garnt roll a fucking snowman, like, oh God, build a fucking snowman, Garnt, quicker. It's just the dichotomy of Trash Taste. Just watching this like snowman ridiculous sequence unfold, and Joey rolling topless in the snow. It's like, bloody hell. Yeah. What is this?
That's Trash Taste.
That is the Trash Taste experience.
You had the best snowman?
Me.
It was him, unfortunately.
I was the judge, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were the judge.
Well, it's because mine was like 3 times the size of theirs as well. They just Garnt rolled the little thing and carved a little bit of a thing in it.
No, mine just looked like an abomination.
He had the most character, shall we say? Connor, the most like alpha male snowman. Fucking.
It was like I genuinely felt I was pushing a boulder, trying to push that. And we didn't have gloves. We didn't have gloves.
No, we didn't have gloves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And our hands were just numb.
Yeah, well, my body was kind of numb as well.
Losers.
What was snowman aside? What was snowman aside? What was the highlight of the Trash Day special? That one.
Yabasama?
Yabusame was really fun.
Horse riding?
Horseback archery.
Really enjoyed Hiroshima as well. Most of that was like just off camera though. That was just nice.
We're just seeing
just like experiencing the nightlife of Hiroshima was sick.
Hiroshima's got a really good nightlife.
Yeah, it was really sick.
Very seedy.
Yeah, very seedy.
And definitely the segues on Totori.
Segues on Totori.
Someone fell off there.
We both did. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unfortunately. But yeah, Totori, the sand dunes were like absolutely incredible. But like the city itself was just like awful. It was like the most industrial city I've probably ever been to.
At least the yakitori was amazing.
Yeah.
The thing about the sand dunes is one of those things where in Japan there's a lot of things that are oversold. Right?
Yeah.
They're amazing. I remember I went to the Grand Japan Canyon in Aomori once, and it's just like a hill that looks shit. I'm like, where's the canyon? They're like, this is canyon. And I'm like, this is shit. It's not. And then like really clutching at fucking straws.
Yeah.
So I was like, Totori sand dunes, it's going to be like someone's made a hill out of sand.
Yeah.
And you get there, and
genuinely,
it looks incredible. And if you
crazy.
frame it right, I've often thought of doing like a short film there. You can make it look like the Middle East or something if you frame it right.
Yeah.
Like the Sahara.
Yeah.
The Segway people were telling us that because we weren't allowed to ride the Segways on the actual sand dunes. Because apparently they're really strict about what licenses they give out to anything to do with the sand dunes.
Well, not allowed to drone either, but I did anyway.
Yeah, we asked.
Yeah,
for
we asked for
permission.
permission
me
to
too.
drone up there. Yeah.
I just remember that like you weren't allowed to do pretty much anything on the sand dunes.
fun. Yeah.
You weren't allowed
No
to.
fun.
It's like protected, right?
Yeah.
really
Well,
I understand it is protected, but I think it would be cool if they let more activities, like more, especially if they like ran and run well. Yeah. I don't really see why it would be a big issue because like it was this beautiful sand dunes and there was nothing you could do on it. Even though there was clearly a bunch of
You can see it from a distance, that's
a
about
bunch
it.
of demand for stuff to do on it.
yeah.
You know, there's paragliding, but you weren't allowed to go on the sand.
Sure,
you had to
sure.
take off right before the sand dunes.
Yeah.
It was just really weird. It was kind of a shame, really, because you felt like you have this amazing thing, and they didn't want to let anyone be able to like spend a day there.
Yeah.
It was like, come drive here, then leave after an hour.
Go to our wonderful city and see the nothing.
It's a shame. It's because sometimes you think, oh, you wish they were a little more lenient and kind of opened up to the idea of maybe letting some cool activities take place that are run by the government or run well.
How was the horse riding?
That was really cool.
that was
they
cool.
were really awesome as well.
Yeah.
The people at the horse riding were so chill and were so welcoming. And I feel like that makes the experience 10 times better.
God,
Yeah, exactly.
When you turn up and you're like, we got film permission, they're like, well, we still don't really want you here. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're like reluctantly,
that, right?
you know,
Yeah,
oblige. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love horses. Yeah.
Yeah, horses are great. Well, whose horse was the one that was like couldn't stop trying to sniff my horse's butt?
That was mine.
Yeah,
that was
yours.
mine. Mine kept trying to overtake Connor's, and Joey's
Mine
one
was on shrooms.
Joey's one had just like
You
done a
always get a
fuck.
good horse, you bastard.
My horse just didn't move.
You
half the
want a
time.
horse that moves.
Yeah.
So we did. Yeah,
Anyone.
so we did this archery contest, and I remember this as like I was just like recently going through the footage, and for like most of the targets, the horse was walking so slowly that when he got in front of the target, he just stopped and just
he was like, here you go. Go
he
on,
just stopped. I just let Joey aim.
Are you done? All right, I'll go then.
I had this beautiful
Fucking
specimen
horse
of a
cheat
horse.
codes. Yeah, right. Slow down, horse. You're a beautiful horse.
It made me look like I was extremely racist, though.
What?
Because there was like this giant white horse with this white man riding on it, and it was just like, I can imagine a different time where this existed. This image.
I was like, of course, the white man is on the white horse.
Jesus. What do you think of the Stonehenge of Hokkaido?
better than the real Stonehenge.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
That area is actually really cool.
yeah.
The Maui heads.
The Maui heads were cool.
bro heads.
The bro heads.
Bro.
The Buddha there was actually like insane.
That's so cool.
That was like
Definitely the cool spot.
yeah.
We can have good hotels in Hokkaido. No, let's build a giant Stonehenge.
Yeah. That Buddha is really cool though.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
awesome.
that Buddha. And
Yeah, when you hit like the gong and you just hear like the sound echo and
The
you
whole
just
dome
see
just
this
echoing,
thing just
yeah.
when
looking
it
down
was
and
like snow on
I also
yeah.
want a free drink with my my fortune. Isn't that funny? I found it because they had like a fortune. where you could-
omikuji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
omikuji,
Yeah.
get your fortune told.
And if you get daikichi, it's like
You get a
on the
free
back
drink
of it,
at
it
the
says like
cafe.
free drink at the cafe.
a cafe.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So you know when you walk into the Buddha thing, if you just turn right as you're leaving, there's a cafe, and it's this really minimalist cafe.
wow.
And then we walked in. I remember the woman was like, "What the fuck?" It was like 3 foreigners walked in, and she was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing here?"
That's what the Buddha would have wanted, wasn't it? Yeah. A free drink. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I think the most random place we went to actually was this German theme park,
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
I've been there. But
which
was surprisingly a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun, not because it had anything to do with like Germany, because you couldn't even get pretzels there.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
can get pretzels.
Yeah, you couldn't get pretzels there, so it's obviously like the first hurdle.
Yeah,
was-
and the food at the German theme park was like ramen
and soba.
and it was like, oh yes, I love my German dish soba.
My dust curry
Yeah.
ramen.
The beer was pretty good though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Then we ended up just like doing archery and just like
Go-karting.
Fucking archery was
go-karting.
on this trip. So much archery.
Who did I nearly run off the road with my go-kart?
It was Joey. Yeah.
you were like on my ass.
I
the
kept getting
entire
impatient
time.
with Jay, so I kept ramming my go-kart into the back of Joey's go-kart.
But your cart, for some reason, was going like
I was-
way faster, and so I just having to keep blocking him
Got the
off, and I
lucky
almost
car.
fucking spun out.
Cameraman and
Somebody had a lot
manners.
of luck on this trip. You got the best horse, the best go-kart.
When I won
on
the-
Fuji with the free drink.
When I won the horse, nailed it, FPS, killed it. I got the 5-star hotel in Hiroshima because of that. And they had to sleep in the manga cafe.
Yeah.
They actually
Probably
slept
like the manga cafes. Though.
Yeah,
Oh,
he liked it.
Joey was having
you
a
know, fucking
Joey was
lovely.
actually having a great time.
It was like the 20th time I've ever done this. I'm just like, this is just another hotel for me.
Joey was like so excited, and we decided
I was just like, bro, this place
Yeah.
has got a fucking sauna.
Because
originally, fuck yeah.
originally it was meant to just be like one person who was staying in the manga cafe, and then we decided after the challenge that 2 people are staying in the manga cafe.
After Conrad won.
Yeah, after Conrad won. Surprise, surprise.
No, that's
Surprise.
not how it happened. It was something to do with like they hadn't the producers
convenient.
and blah, 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 whatever.
I thought it'd just be funny because Garnt's never stayed at a manga cafe before, so I thought it'd be funny for the video to get his reaction.
I think Joey was like, "Let's get Garnt coming." You did the what?
Huh?
Was it good?
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I did
so
the worst,
it was surprisingly, it was like okay. It wasn't like I wouldn't choose to stay there.
No,
right, right. But like one thing I did notice is that like the everything was like leather and like dark, right?
Yeah.
I do not want to do like a blue light filter on that fucking place because the first thing I noticed when I sat down, I looked at the PC and there's this link, and one of the most used links was the pornography tab. And there was just like pages and pages of pornography, right? And so we do our filming bit and we're going to go to bed. And then I hear someone in the next room, right? And they provide headphones to everyone, but it's like the cheapest,
clearly not noise cancelling.
Yeah, not noise cancelling headphones. God. So you can hear like kind of like static to like, and the walls were like paper thin as well, right? So you could hear everything. So all I heard was just like static noise coming from headphone next door, and just like, and I'm just like, oh my fucking
Sounds like
God.
Connor's favourite mayonnaise breast.
Could be.
And
I hear a very faint.
I was just like, this is my life. I fucking hate Connor right now. I can't.
To be fair, for a 5-star hotel, it was more like a 3. I was kind of we paid so
God
much.
forbid.
Yeah. We paid so much money for that. We paid so much money for that hotel, and I felt like they mugged us off a little bit.
Well, don't worry, we saved the money on the manga cafe.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. It was,
did you want to swap, Connor? Why didn't you should have said so?
Well, because the whole point of the challenge was that we wanted to get the 5-star hotel because it sounds really cool in video, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's only like one in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
I think it's the one above the station, and maybe the Hilton or something. And yeah, it was just
I think
like
it was a Hilton, right? No, it was a Sheraton.
Yeah.
It was just literally like a normal 3-star. I don't really understand.
Sheraton.
It cost so much money.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck?
One thing I did notice
But
about
it was good having that as opposed to
one thing I did notice about staying in a manga hotel is that just staying in a room with no windows completely fucks your body clock up so much. Because you wake up and it's like, is it 5 a.m. or is it like 11 p.m.? I have no fucking clue right now.
Oh my God.
I remember when, because Garnt woke up first because we were in the rooms next to each other.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we have to go. So Garnt like knocks on my door. And apparently the first thing he sees is just me just fucking stumbling over, just being like, what time is it? I look like a fucking hermit because it's like when you wake up in a pitch black room, you're like, I have no idea what time it is. And you're just like, fuck. It's like,
He looked like, I so wish I fucking filmed it because he looked like a gremlin just emerging from his cage. He just looks at me going, what time is it?
Oh my God.
I was just like, Joey, you're right, mate. You've been in there for 30 years, Joey. Holy shit. But yeah, that's been this episode of Trash Taste with this has been an extra affable episode of Trash Taste.
I thought about doing on the Trash Taste special, there's a scene, I don't know if it made the final cut.
Yeah.
I'm like chasing after your car, like, let me in. And I was going to do a trailer based off that.
Yeah.
Do you know these Netflix documentaries, like the crime ones?
Yeah.
It's like, who's Mr. Affable until he wasn't, or whatever.
Yeah.
I was going to do something like that about how I was going to make a trailer for a fake documentary, like Trash Taste Exposed, Bitter Taste. And it's going to be about how I wanted to be the 4th member, but I'm not, or something. And do that. I'm still weighing it up if I should do it.
you should definitely do it.
Next time.
If I do it, I'll try and release it around the time that the special comes out.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, it should be good. But hey, look at all these patrons, though.
Look at all these lovely people.
They're just as affable.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Be sure to stick around. Come back for when I've got my 6-pack.
Yeah, you're going to come back when you have a 6-pack in a few months.
So you're going to come back from this never-ending American tour and be like, "Wow, shit, this is a 6-pack with a guy on it."
You'll bring a 6-pack of
There's a handsome young man on
Sapporo
that
beer.
6-pack.
Yeah, you'd be like, I brought a 6-pack from the company.
I will blow you away.
We'll see. We'll see.
Just you see. Just you see. Good luck in
All
America.
I wait. I'm very happy to be wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I know I'm not going to.
It's going to look hilarious either way.
You're going to be wrong.
But hey, if you like to support the show, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, go
check out Chris, you know.
You know the score.
Whatever.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no,
Good as
thank you very
always.
much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.